Players. Last we left off, you had a little bit of a run-in. You actually had several run-ins. At first, you had a run-in with a guard, a barbarian, and a water skin full of goo. Then you had a run-in with zombies that had a hard time dying and spewed ash and soot every time you hit them. Then you had a run-in with some blistered spiders in some bushes, followed by several twig blights, one of which is still alive. And then briefly after that, or during that, you had a run-in with a big green dragon, which so far is primarily interested in Club and his determination to not give up his devoutness to his blood god.
We didn't fight any spiders, though.
You didn't fight them, no. You just found them.
Yeah, true.
And you got quite intimate with one of them.
No, fuck yeah, I did.
The three of you are about 45 feet north of the final line of this map, except for Tarkon. You're only about 10 feet north of the map. And it is currently your turn as a little gray squirrel has suddenly transformed in front of you, stopping you in your tracks. I don't recall exactly how much movement you still have, but I think you were only about halfway through your movement.
Yeah.
And then, so this little gray squirrel transformed into an elderly human. Gray, long, flowing beard, bald head, long green and brown robes, standing in open-toed sandals, and a beautifully carved wooden staff at his side with a nice green and black orb on top.
No socks, though. Just sandals.
No socks. No socks.
Do we know?
And he stopped you and said, "It seems like your friend is in some trouble."
Mm-hmm.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end today's session.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Until next week.
Yeah, everyone have yourself a good night.
Queen, the glare is unrelenting.
Yeah, I don't care.
You look like
If you want to blame somebody, blame me, because I'm too lazy to install or purchase blinds or curtains. So it's not our fault.
we do blame you.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
perfect. So that's where we're at. Let me turn on some music because you are still in turn order. But like I said off stream, we're going to try to do some pseudo turn order stuff. So when I flick to your turn, it's going to be a quick in and out, whether you react or whatever. But there are still some things happening. Okay, so Tarkon, you've headed north, and good God. You headed north, I think, here? Roughly in this line?
Yeah. Out this door and just...
Oh, and straight north. So yeah, so out that door, straight north. Awesome. Okay, which also was the direction that Lazuli went. Kiriko, you are over this way. So you're about 40 feet apart from Lazuli, though neither of you know that. Wait.
This druid just spoke to me.
Yeah, neither of you. Yes, that's right. He did.
And it's my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay. Yes, we could use some help. And yes, Club is in danger. Who are you?
Oh, that's not your concern right now. And then he reaches into his long pocket that's kind of draped at his side on his robes, grabs a handful of dirt and just throws it at you.
Roll for
and
damage.
No, roll to hit. Roll to hit.
Roll the hit. Roll the hit.
It kind of like poofs in front of you, but instead of it actually like going into your eyes, it actually just kind of like envelops around you and starts swirling around you and around your legs. And at that, he actually casts a spell, and you feel a little bit lighter on your feet. Your legs feel a little bit stronger as he has casted Long Strider on you. And that means that you... for the next hour, your movement speed is increased by 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And then he immediately starts morphing back into a squirrel.
That's it?
That's it.
So you give me the option to run away even further.
And I'll let you finish your turn.
I'm just gonna kind of stand. Am I out of the tree line? Like I'm not technically in the tree line, or I am?
You haven't reached the tree line yet. You're like 10 feet away from the tree line.
I'm just
So
gonna.
You're 10 feet north of the map and 10 feet away from the tree line.
Okay. I'm just gonna continue into the tree line, and
Okay.
just kind of, just as soon as I have cover, just kind of stay there and kind of confused a little bit.
Okay. Okay. So Lazuli, roll for perception for me. Okay. So you actually heard the rustling as in the same exact, I guess we'll call it longitude.
Yeah.
Tarkon has kind of entered. You don't know necessarily what it was, but it certainly wasn't moving like the twig blights. Definitely a heavier step.
I would like to stealth forward and see if I could. Do I see Tarkon?
You are currently behind a tree, so no.
I'd like to stealth out and try to move forward towards the rustling.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth. Okay, and then Tarkon, you are gonna. Oop, shit. Tarkon, you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll perception.
Okay. Lazuli, shut the fuck up. Stop fucking moving, Lazuli. I can fucking hear you, you idiot.
There's a dragon.
So when you step out from behind the tree, you just get a really terrible branch snap under your foot, which catches your attention, Tarkon. So you do see him come out from behind his tree. Now, Lazuli, we still have to stay in turn order,
Yeah,
unfortunately for this, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it out alive at least. And then I'm gonna say, "Where's club?" and end my turn.
Okay. Kiriko, give me a perception check. With advantage, sorry.
Oh,
Oh, thank
Yeah, so
God
you-
for advantage.
You also heard that big branch snap, and you heard talking, which you could recognize. You can't hear what was said, but you could recognize that it was Lazuli.
I want to walk towards him.
Okay. So you step out, and as you step out, you can see there was one twig blight that actually chased you up this way. And you actually, as you're stepping out, you can see the twig blight is there, but it's kind of like doing one of these, like swiping at itself, as there is a small pack, a little swarm of squirrels ripping it apart. And and you just see these twigs just kind of flying off of it, and there's like a little screech sound that comes out as the twisting and snapping of branches is taking place, and all the leaves are being shredded off, and it just falls to the ground, and the squirrels just scatter off.
I just want to like giggle at that, and then
Roll for giggle.
No.
Performance roll.
go find these asshats.
Okay, so you can actually see them, no problem. You pinpoint where the thing was, and you see Tarkon's there as well.
Hi.
I just need to know also how I need to know how far you move towards them.
The full
Because right now
35.
you are you're 40 feet away from, or yeah, 40 feet.
Yeah, just the full 35.
Okay. So yeah, okay, so you're within 10 feet. Okay. Okay. So you're just saying hi?
There's more. There's more that she has to do.
Quietly.
There's more than Kiriko, you do, obviously. Way more to do.
What?
I don't know what he's referring to.
Yeah,
I have no
she
idea.
said hey
I'm referring
and
to the
ended
turn
her
order.
turn. She said hey.
I'm referring to the turn order who's coming after Kiriko.
Oh, I see. He must
Okay,
have delayed the dragon.
Actually, this is what I'm going to do. Because that was a combination of 3 turns, I'm going to actually let you guys have a little discussion there.
I just want to ask what happened. Like, what's going on?
Lazuli, you asked the same thing. You said, "Where's Club?" and what
That's all I
else?
said. I said, "Where's Club?" I said, "I'm glad you made it out alive. Where's Club?"
Last I saw him, he was at the spider still. The dragon was on top of the tower last I saw. Pretty sure. Or no, it was talking to Club. Last I saw, Club was talking to the dragon.
Talking?
Yes.
That oaf can talk to dragons?
Yeah, but he can't tie his shoes. I heard something else
Yeah.
happening here. Lemon, were you with somebody just now? Like I heard something, or was that you just entering the forest?
There was a gray squirrel that turned into this old man who who threw dirt at me, and now
I saw a squirrel too.
I feel a little bit faster.
I saw a bunch of squirrels rip apart one of those twig blights, so
I think that's
I think we
Reidoth.
can trust the squirrels.
I think that's Reidoth, the red-nosed reindeer.
So when you say the name, right behind Lazuli, you just see this again, just the squirrel form comes up, gets larger and larger, and then sheds off all the fur, and you see again the this old man standing right behind Lazuli, and when he comes up, he's holding something in his hand, and it looks just kind of like beat up old paper or like tree bark, and he reaches back and smacks it on Lazuli's back without him really even seeing.
5-star.
Lazuli, you feel it kind of hit you, but it doesn't hurt. But when he hits you, you feel something kind of just like fade into your back. And when you look down at your skin, you kind of feel it, your skin like tensing up, almost like it feels like you've got a really bad sunburn and it's like 2 days later and your skin's tightening. But when you look down, your skin is actually turning into like a tree bark texture.
True.
And it goes all the way down to your wrists, and then there's like one final piece that comes over and covers your hands. And that is because he has casted Bark Skin on you. And I will... and I'm going to just tell you what that does.
Does it also make him walk around going, "I am Groot"? The whole game.
Okay. And then he at the with his other hand he actually throws a little puff of that same puff of magical dirt at Kiriko from across the kind of little circle, and the same thing happens to you. This dirt kind of swirls around and starts swirling around your legs, and you feel a little bit lighter and your legs feel a little bit stronger. And then just in an instant, he's gone again. He just switches back into the squirrel, and you can't even see what direction he goes.
Man, I knew I liked squirrels.
Technically, can't Queen track him because we're in a forest and it's an animal track?
Yes, you could. You could look at for the tracks. Now, I'm not going to give you a ton of time after that to keep your discussion going.
I mean, do we need to?
No, you can. You can keep it going, Phrank. It's all good.
He said. So I guess we're all kind of now confused because he just turned back into a squirrel and ran away, right?
That's right.
Doesn't seem like he wants to help us.
What he said to me is, your friend seems like he's in trouble, and then he threw the dirt at me, and now I feel a little bit faster and stronger. So I think he's trying to help us.
Help us fight or help us run?
I don't think he's trying to help us fight. I think he's trying to buff us up.
We gotta decide on how we want to approach this. Do we save Club, or do we hunt for Reidoth? That seems to. Those are the two options, I think. Hunt, continue to chase down Reidoth, or help Club.
Okay, that is a good place to end the 3-turn combo. So I'll let you guys debate that in your own minds. Next is going to be Venom. Is going to be the green dragon, who at this point has made her way down the inside of the tower and is back to being perched up on top of that pile of rubble with the treasure, with some of the treasure still there. And when she gets down there, you hear this incredible roar that it's louder than the last one and a little bit more shrill, and it booms out the top of the tower, echoing across all of Thunder Tree into the woods. Everybody hears this, and she breathes that same sharp, billowing cloud of acid and soot at the door. That's a good dice.
No, I don't like hearing that. Oh God, what do I have? What do I have? What do I have?
It's a good little
Okay.
dice.
So, Club, you are going to give me a dexterity saving throw this time with advantage.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
That means I have double advantage, possibly.
Well, why?
Because on my saving throws, it says I have A with a 20-sided dice with it. On dex against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated, I have advantage on dex saving throws.
Okay, just link it.
I don't know how.
Or just copy and paste it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I mean, there is no such thing as double advantage, to be fair.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you already give me advantage, it's fine, but that is exactly how it reads. And I honestly don't know how I got it. I think it might be because of I have no idea.
We'll figure it out. Okay,
no, it's my athletics. It's my athletics. That's why it's so high.
Well, go ahead and roll your save.
First roll is an 11.
Mhm.
Second roll is an 18.
Okay.
Oh, I have to add the modifier, so it's 12 and 19.
Okay. So this acidic breath blows the door down. Now there is a moment in time where it's kind of just burning through the door. It only takes about a second, but you're able to see it coming, and you just tuck yourself up against the wall, and the acid and soot just blows through the room, but it does not hit you where you're currently at against the wall next to the door. But the door is open now, and a lot of the rock is actually around the door is also starting to fall apart. And then she moves up to the door, and just kind of sticks her eye through the door to kind of look inside. And then just quickly give me a stealth check.
Yup. Fuck. It almost landed on an 18, but instead it landed on a 2, so that's a 3.
Okay, so you can see the eye dart around the room, and then she catches a glimpse of your foot, and you can see the eye just flash towards you, and you just hear a loud snarl. Next is Club.
So, fuck! Is her head currently in the room?
No.
So, I don't have to take an action to disengage them.
Correct.
What about if I cross the door? If I walk past it?
Yeah, she would.
She would note. Okay.
If
All
you
right.
walk exactly that 5-foot square across the door.
This one, right? Directly.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm doing what what a football team would do when they're down in the last quarter. They're down by a I don't know, like a goal. I don't know. And I'm gonna fucking throw a Hail Mary, and I'm gonna hope for the best. I'm going to rage.
Okay.
Not an angry rage, a sad rage.
Okay. You whimper.
I whimper, yes. So I have to roll my D8 now. Let me pull up my thing.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious while he's pulling it up how it works. Because didn't he lose his rage? Does he get to rage again?
It's like your key points. You can do it a certain number of times.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
In a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
D8.
Yeah.
I need a 2. I got a 5.
Okay.
Okay. That's it's nothing good. I mean, It is important for you. Do you already know it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Fuck. So if I go into this square, like I'll move myself right here. Does she see me?
She sees you.
She sees me. Okay.
But she doesn't attack. Like, she sees you right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
She saw your shoe.
That's true. So because rage is a bonus action, opening a door is an action or a bonus action, one of the two.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you? Yeah, I guess you did close those doors, eh?
Yeah, I did. There's no way to dash through it like a Looney Tunes cartoon, eh?
I'll let you strength check it.
Action. Dash.
Okay.
He has advantage on strength checks.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna run to this door, and I want to run through it like a Looney Tunes character.
Okay, go ahead and roll your strength check.
First one is a 12. Second one is a 18.
Okay. Okay, so you just kind of run, you get a little bit of an angle on it and head down. You do burst through the door. So it seems like you may have not closed it all the way, and it just pops open for you.
Perfect. So I have 60 feet of movement, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. I want to hide in the spider again.
Okay.
I've already done it once, so I want to do it again.
Okay.
Is that too many actions?
You can't hide. You can't hide.
Can I crawl inside of it though?
I'll let you be behind it, and like you're
Okay.
in brush, so.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
So on this next one, I'll let you guys.
Be together.
I'll let you guys triple your turn up, and then if you want to take actions, that's fine too.
Okay.
We gotta vote.
Vote.
Are we gonna follow Reidoth? Or are we gonna save club? Those are our two options.
I think there's also a third option, which is neither.
How would that work?
We wait.
For what? How do we even know if club's still alive? What would we wait for?
I don't know. Scream.
And if that doesn't come?
Then we leave.
That doesn't seem ideal. How do we
It's
even
a
know?
dragon. Like, I'm sorry, but we're not taking on a dragon together. So,
Oops.
What do you think, Tarkon?
Hmm. Um.
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea too.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was good.
I'm
That
gonna
was good.
calculate your thinking time too. A little bit.
I
mean,
you know
we
what Kiriko's vote is already, which is
Yeah.
obviously not save club. So, what do you think?
I think one of us, at least one of us, should go back and see if we can find him. See if he's alive. Maybe go back to that house for safety and kind of scan the area.
it's a dragon, not something on the ground. Like, this isn't something you can just tuck into a house and hide from.
Well, the house that we were in has a roof.
And not real walls.
This one had fairly good walls, no, Frank?
Yeah.
This one up here, yeah, everything was intact.
Yeah, but I'm just saying nothing's in like great shape.
Nothing that a dragon could demolish. But he won't know we're there. Or she. I volunteer to go back.
Then I'll
I
go.
can use some of my spells to maybe trick the dragon if it's there.
Don't you have a potion of invisibility?
I do.
I'm not saying to just use that outright, but I'm saying of all of us, you have a way to get out pretty simply.
Yes.
Lazuli, do you want to track the squirrel man with me?
Sure.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's do that then.
Frank, in our 3-player turn, can I move back into here?
Yes. I will also let you start your tracking. You see literally thousands of small squirrel footprints all around you when you start tracking.
I don't know how much movement from here to here is, but I had 45, so... And it's only...
So you had 45?
yeah,
so-
because I was here.
Yeah. Hold on one sec.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you see just tons and tons of tracks going all kinds of different directions. You are able to kind of vaguely see where there's like a larger set of footprints from the sandals that were being worn. You can very clearly see that there was footprints from the squirrel that was created on top of those, and then you can see that they do head kind of on an angle, like this way. That's the way they're like pointed right now. But in and amongst them, there are just tons and tons of other still fresh tracks of pretty much the exact same size, going all over the place.
I think he wants us to fight the dragon.
Okay, but I don't want to fight the dragon. I think that's stupid. We're not worth anything dead, so I think we got to be smart about this.
I want to take my turn to think.
Okay. All right. So there was a lot going on there. So I'll jump forward here. So, Club, you just hear some thudding on the side of, like, in the distance. You hear thudding on concrete.
Okay.
Or on brick, I should say.
Limestone.
Yeah, it'd probably be cobblestone.
Okay. And then now it's your turn, Club.
Would it take a bonus action to peek up and look to see if I can see the dragon?
I'll let you peek. I mean, you're not quite in the spider.
Yeah, I want to peek. I want to take a little peek. See.
So when you look up, you can see like a claw is grabbing the top of the
so
hole in the top of the tower.
I don't see the head. Okay, cool. Where is the cart?
The cart? It's way over here.
Like to the left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am just gonna dash again, and I'm where I'm about to go isn't because of Tarkon is there. My original plan was to go to this house if I couldn't leave through the back door. So
yeah.
I don't want to seem like I'm metagaming. I just want to preface that.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash, and I'm going to
Bye, Tarkon.
bonus action run in here and close the door.
Okay.
You want to say anything to me?
Let me just see here. So you dashed, you said?
I did dash, yes.
Okay, so
it's 10.
you're at 45 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
45, 50. I'm gonna go right in front of Tarkon. Super like wounded, like I have burns all over my body. I'm coughing, I'm bleeding a little bit.
You're bleeding a
wood
lot.
Splinters. Yeah, I'm bleeding a lot. There's like wood splinters from the door in me. And I'm just gonna say, why are you still here? Why didn't you run? I'm a dead man walking, basically. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Tarkon's next. So I'm gonna bring you guys back to turn. It seems like there's like more separation now. So Tarkon?
I'm just gonna say that we came back to find you and to check up on you, and possibly to rescue you. We found the druid. But he hasn't been of much help yet. And I think I have a plan to get us out of here.
Well, I can't.
I know. I'm just thinking about my plan.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah.
If you're using your whole turn to talk to him, like that's not a problem.
No. Just one sec. I'm just thinking. 15-foot cube. 5, 10, 15.
Can I ask a
I have a-
question
Oh, yeah, go
that
ahead.
might help Tarkon?
Yeah.
This tower, when the dragon exits the tower from the top, is there a point of the tower that still exists that makes it difficult to see in a specific direction?
Yeah. So if you think of like a cone, it's like there's a pizza slice taken out of that cone.
So from the tower, can you give us in like clock type measures,
Yeah.
like where where there's like a blind spot?
It's almost, well, the hole is almost perfectly 6 to 3. So there's still roofing on basically the entire left. So 12 to 6, that entire left half still has roof.
Gotcha.
I think that might help you, Tarkon.
Okay. Well.
And Frank's quick with it. He just takes the dragon in the turn order whenever he wants. It's just like, boom, done. You don't know what the dragon's doing.
So Frank, this silent image, it says it's a 15-foot cube. So is that 3 squares in every direction, like a 3 square by 3 square?
Link it?
You already
did.
He did.
Oh, you did. Perfect. Yeah.
Which means also 15 feet high.
This is a first level spell.
Maths.
Yep.
Okay, you know how spell slots work?
Yeah, I've already used one.
Perfect. Okay, good.
I have 1 remaining.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is what I want to do, Frank.
Mhm.
I want to create a 15 by 15 foot cube
Mm-hmm.
above us
Okay.
that is the whatever the texture is of the ground up here. So grass, we'll just say.
Okay.
And I want to put it above us so that when we go outside, as we move, it stays above us. And from an aerial view, it looks like the grass.
Holy shit. Fucking Giga Brain.
And it can move too. It's in the description. It can move with you guys as you run. Oh, dirty. Oh my god. Oh man.
I was looking for one part. I didn't think it would include this, but it says as the image changes location, you can alter its appearance so that its movements appear natural for the image. Because I was wondering how you would make that work.
Wow.
It's like that block in FTB Minecraft.
Which one?
The one
Right.
that looks like the sky, but then whenever
Oh,
you
yeah.
hop down, it changes.
Yeah.
Frank is so pissed.
Bro.
No,
He's
I'm not
fuming.
pissed. I'm not pissed.
That's impressive. That's crazy, bro.
Okay, so does Tarkon currently have inspiration?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, take it.
How do I... Oh, just check.
Lemon, if you had told me that you had that, I would have come with you.
I didn't know
Like-
exactly what I was gonna do. I was thinking of making an image of Club and sending it in a different direction, but then the dragon would just fly around and see us run out the back eventually.
I think just to make it even smoother, like you guys should do it because your turns are back to back. Like you should just combine your turns.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna make that like I'm obviously not going to make it so one goes ahead and then one catches up. Okay, so Lazuli is so yeah. So I'll let you do that. Like that's your turn right there. So you're kind of casting it now, but it's in the building with you right now. But it's still beneath the roof.
Okay.
Okay. So Lazuli, you are next.
Oh,
Nice.
This thing is awesome. I love this.
Dude, I honestly, sorry, I just want to pause. I had the option to take that, and I was like, that's shit. I can't use that. Ooh.
It's whatever you can think about. I was thinking about putting a wall up.
thinking
But,
outside the box.
Literally, in this case.
Inside the box.
He's under the box.
He is the box.
I don't want to go back alone, so I'm just gonna kind of follow Kiriko's lead because I would like to go back. I think I'm, aside from Club, I may be the only one that'd be interested in fighting a dragon. But if I don't have like Kiriko's support, like I don't like it'd be foolish. Like if anybody's gonna be doing the most damage to the dragon, it would be the giant slaying ranger, right? Like it's not gonna be my punches to the toesies that's gonna kill a dragon. So I'm just gonna stay put.
Okay. Next is Kiriko. So you guys, I'll kind of combine your turns here as well. This is a good idea, actually. I think this works really well.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to like mention where the tracks went, but I guess I want to follow it to a certain degree, but I don't want to get out of like cover, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So you're just like gonna be slowly checking around a little bit?
Yeah, like kind of head in the direction that it was in.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
But I think she wants to stay behind tree cover.
I know.
Oh.
Okay, so you're able to again, like there's just so many tracks. A lot of them were fresh. Like you saw that pack of gray squirrels earlier that just scattered all around. You're able to at least keep with the pacing and kind of measure out a little bit. If a squirrel was running, how far would its pacing be? And you are able to legitimately track and sparse out that specific squirrel has gone in the direction indicated, and you can see vaguely that it at least goes from where you're standing to about there, at least.
I just want to tell Lazuli that, but I just want to go as far as I can without getting out of cover. It's pretty much the goal.
Yeah, I'll stay with her.
Okay.
And grab an intermittent snack.
Okay. From inside the building and from inside the woods, you can kind of hear, well, not kind of, you can hear and feel the roar of this dragon again, and you can just hear a huge swoop come from outside the building, the two inside, and you just hear that same similar roar, and you hear trees and brush just waving in the wind, and you hear burning as well, and you just hear a whoosh past the building. Club.
So I obviously see Tarkon making the spell,
Yeah.
right? Tarkon, what are you doing? Why are you casting magic right now? We need to get out. We need to leave. This dragon
It's both our
will
turns,
kill
right?
us.
Like we can talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm making an illusion so we can escape.
An
I
illusion
have
of
a
what?
plan. You'll see.
Well, I had no other options, so your magic will have to do.
Just
So,
stay close.
Yeah, you got it. You take the lead. I'll follow your lead, man.
Okay, so I will let you move together.
Okay.
Can we dash both of us at the same time?
You can.
I can't dash. I have to use an action to move this as well.
Oh,
Wait.
You can use your action to cause the image to move to any spot within range. So I have to use an action to move it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you can't dash.
okay.
So I'm just going to draw where I'm going to put it for now.
Cunning
I'm gonna put it
action.
right
Cunning
here.
action.
Oh, yeah,
Cunning
you're right.
action.
But oh yeah, you're right. I can't dash.
I'm only
Okay,
going to
well-
allow that because you guys are still learning the.
Yeah, you're not allowed to tell me, Simo. You're not allowed. Okay, that's where I'm gonna put it. The club.
Okay.
You're gonna follow me.
Of course I'm gonna follow you. Are you kidding me?
So club, when you look up, you can like weird. It's almost like Inception when the world like folds. You can see the bottom side of this weird 15 by 15 foot like pallet of grass. Like, it's like waving in the wind from beneath, and you can't see above it, but it's not casting a shadow on you. So yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
you
gonna
guys
say anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not taking any risks.
Okay. Next is going to be Lazuli.
Wait,
So-
do we not see the dragon?
No, we can't.
No.
I don't think we can see through it. No.
Nope.
Oh, we can't see through it? Okay, fair enough.
Nope. It's not casting a shadow on you, but you can't see through it either.
Okay.
So Lazuli, from where you are, you can actually Lazuli and Kiriko. This is kind of weird double turns, but I kind of like it. So you can actually see that the dragon has flown across and is in the air a good 30 feet, not too high off the ground. But just above the building, you can see that it's actually currently flying to the west, like just basically in a perfect line to the west.
West side.
Wanna hide?
Yeah. I'm getting love biscuits from my cat, but it's his birthday, so I can't make him stop. It hurts.
Oof.
But what happened, Frank?
It's just grass, dude.
This grass.
Lemon, this is either gonna work flawlessly or we're both dead.
Well,
Okay, so sorry, you guys are hiding, the two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
the illusion only breaks if the dragon interacts with it. So, or it can see
Is it so? Is it a cube or is it just like a pallet over top of us?
I guess it's just like a slate. Like
You can make it as wide as you want.
as
No,
wide.
but does
Or
it
you mean
cover
it's
the
thick?
sides of us?
Yeah, I guess so. It's like a cube. Well, it's just to project. Yeah, that's a.
I'm gonna let Lemon. I'm gonna let you decide, because you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I guess let's make it a cube of just what it looks like is just the ground from an
Okay.
aerial position.
Okay. Okay, so the two of you are hiding now in the woods. The dragon.
Cast detect magic. Finds the cube.
So the
Incinerate.
dragon.
This is where nat ones would be really helpful.
Yep.
The dragon lands on top of this building and slashes down onto the roof of the building, which is a seemingly strong, sturdy sturdy roof, made out of wooden shingles, and it just takes 2 big swipes at it.
Me and Kiriko see this?
No, because you're now in hiding.
Okay.
Actually, in fact, nobody sees this, so I don't really have to be describing this, but I will.
Do we hear it though?
Oh, you for sure hear it. It's right behind you.
We can feel it, probably.
We can feel it.
Trying to make sure. There it is. Okay. And you just hear the shredding of wood and thatch and stone just being thrown around. Next is Club Tarkon.
Club Tarkon.
Did any of the rubble hit us?
Nope.
Like hit the illusion? No. Oh, we love to see it. I guess we just move forward.
I'm gonna use my action to
Tarkon.
move
Clarkon.
this to here.
Sorry, what are you doing?
I just
We
moved.
can't move it
this
anymore. Yeah,
from
we can't
here to
move it
here.
anymore.
Yeah, you're just keeping it with you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're gonna move to the. I'm gonna move to the top. Oh well.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I
know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we move 30 feet.
Yeah, you're moving the full 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, give me both of you guys give me a stealth check.
Stealth.
Yep, good luck.
Let's
Club.
go, 11!
Did you get a 20?
No, I got an 11, but you got a 20, so it doesn't matter. We have to get the average.
I'm the grass. I am one with the grass. Right now.
Okay, so you very gracefully move through this this open area here. The grass casting this illusion all the way around you, and when you make your way into the woods, the grass kind of starts colliding with the trees a little bit and just fades out. But you still have the illusion kind of overhead and behind you. It's just like weirdly moving, changing colors and shapes as you move into the woods. And you are 30 feet deep.
All right.
I'm just gonna ask for you're 30 feet in there. I'm just gonna ask for actions or bonus actions if you want to do anything and if you have the ability to.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my cunning action and hide.
Okay.
I will also use I'll also use my regular action and hide. No, yeah, because I didn't dash, so yeah, I can hide.
Okay. And you're keeping the illusion up?
After we're hidden, I'll take it down. We're in the tree line, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take it down once we're hidden and in the tree line.
5. Yeah, you're just barely in the tree line. Like you're behind the first couple of trees.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so the illusion just kind of fades away. If you can delete that, that'd be amazing.
I did. Yep.
Okay, so Clarkon, you're done. Lazuli, Kiriko, go ahead and make me an investigation check or a perception check, both of you.
My passive's 14.
Okay. So neither of you hear either of them.
Even though he had a 20?
Yeah, their group check was a nat 20. 26.
Oh, right.
We're stealthy.
Tarkon's where it's at.
Okay. Lazulico?
I mean, I kind of just want to keep hiding.
I prefer Kirikuzi.
Okay.
Because I mean, I would assume that we heard the whole shingles shenanigan as well.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I don't want any part of that right now.
Okay. So you guys are good? High note? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bruce and Kevin! No! 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 Take me instead!
It tried.
I need that. True.
Ooh.
Phrank, if you kill off the fan favorites, Bruce and Kevin,
You guys hear a horrific, high pitch, just squealing scream coming from southwest of where you're currently at.
do I recognize that sound?
It is like not anything you've ever heard before.
Better not have killed off Bruce and Kevin.
Okay, so I'm gonna just I'm just testing this and seeing how this goes. So far, I think it's worked pretty well. So you guys, to give you perspective on where everybody is, Club and Tarkon, you are just barely in the tree line. You're each behind your own separate trees. Fairly large, big bases to these trees. Very old trees, so you're able to fit behind them, keep hidden fairly well. But you're behind the first trees, so the opening is right there. 15 feet deeper than that, also behind trees, but much more cover around. It's a lot more densely wooded, even just 15 feet back. Is Kiriko and Lazuli also be hiding behind trees? Nobody is aware of where anybody else is other than the partnerships. So if you guys want to do just a turn solo, the turn order's there for you. Club would go first, and then we can kind of go from there. Also, I don't know why these numbers are like this, but this is what it is.
I'm gonna whisper to Tarkon and ask him where the others are at. Tarkon.
Wait, have we decided? Are we
where are
doing
the
solo?
others?
Sorry.
Well, you guys can just do what you're gonna do.
Do what we're gonna do. Okay. They should be here. They were. I left him here. They might be a little bit deeper.
Actually, this is gonna be better. I'm just gonna full on take you guys out of turn order.
Okay.
But all this is still gonna be happening. I'm still gonna be controlling.
The dragon.
I want to use an action.
Okay.
I want to cast magic awareness within 60 feet of me.
Okay. Link it, please. How often do you get to cast that?
This is my last time. I have 2 every long rests.
2. Okay.
I don't have spell slots.
Okay.
I know they're hiding, but like besides the people that are hiding, I still want to cast it.
So. So a few things light up from your kind of vision of the magical realms. You can see that the axe that you have is glowing.
Yep.
The staff that Tarkon has is glowing. There's a couple of scrolls sticking out of your bag that are glowing.
Okay.
And
my ring.
And your ring. And outside of that, nothing really else pings your radar.
Okay. I am going to just look at. I'm gonna study X, I guess, but best I can do. While hiding, can I do that? Like hide and study the axe?
Yeah.
That's what I'll do then.
Okay. Do you remember the description from last time?
I do not. Did you send it to me over via DMs? I don't think you did.
No, I just talked about it when you picked it up. So there are 3 runes carved into the wide handle and the shaft of this battle axe. You can't read them, but there are the 3 runes there, and the top of the axe has a pattern woven through it, almost like a Damascus steel. But instead, it looks like rust, and it's intended to almost look like it's damaged. But as you inspect it, you realize that is actually part of the intended workings of the axe.
Okay. But I mean, if it's a magical item, so if I study it for long enough, I become attuned to it, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you. I am done I'm not in turn order, but I'm done what I wanted to do.
And to be clear, you have to identify it, and then you have to attune to it.
Okay, so can I identify it or no?
That it's like both. It require time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I investigate the area, see if I can spot Kiriko or Lazuli?
Yes. So Kiriko and Lazuli, give me stealth checks, and then
Don't make this easy.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Oh,
And
you'll
then
find him.
And then give me a perception check.
Perception. Should I just give you my passive?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
This is an active check.
Bam.
Okay, so you're peeking around, just moving through a little bit. You remember roughly what direction they were in, and you don't just see Lazuli's like foot sticking out. You see his whole quarterstaff and a foot sticking out of the side of the tree. To an untrained eye, they might think it's just a branch, but you recognize that very clearly as Lazuli's quarterstaff.
I see Lazuli Club. He's hiding over there. I don't know what direction he is, but I see Lazuli.
Should we maybe move more into the woods then to meet up with them and be with them?
Yep. Let's
Quietly?
go get him.
All right.
Go get him. Should we stealth it?
Yes, 100% we should.
I'm just I'll keep your stealths.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so let's stealth over there.
Yep.
Tarkon, you kind of help him along, find the
Yeah.
non-crunchy
follow me.
spots.
Yep. Don't step on that branch right there.
Okay. Simo, you said you readied an attack, right? For anyone that comes up to you?
No.
I was
okay, he
gonna
would miss
fucking
anyways.
cry. I was gonna cry.
I'm just kidding. All right.
It's just a little punch.
Okay.
Just a little punch. No, yeah,
Just a
can't do that much damage.
He would probably knock me out, but nothing to you.
Okay. So, when you guys get there, you can't help but notice that Lazuli's looking a little like he needs a little moisturizer. All his skin on his face and his arms and his legs look like tree bark.
Lazuli.
Oh yeah.
Looks like you're looks like you need some moisturizer. I have just the thing for you, and I'll pull up my water skin.
Club, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Well, I'm just trying to extend an olive branch. So.
Wow. Wow. Can you both roll performance checks?
Yep. I got a 3.
Okay. Club, that is one of the greatest dad jokes you've ever heard. Simo, you've seen a druid or two with this spell, and that olive branch joke just gets told way too many times. But you fake a laugh anyway. All right.
Guys, the dragon means business. We cannot fight it. Look at me. I'm gonna show off my many burns, the blood gushing out of me, starting to coagulate a little bit, and just tell him, oh,
Yeah.
like we can't stay around here. We have to leave. Like there is.
I think we need to reevaluate this area.
Yeah,
What
I
we're
mean,
doing.
it's a
100%.
dragon.
Can I roll? Do I see his axe? Like his new axe?
You do.
Yeah, I'm holding it. I'm holding it. Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Oh, this thing. I'm gonna like rub the blade a little bit. Ah, yeah. Stole this from the dragon. Probably why it's a little bit upset. I also stole two goblets from it. Then I'll pull out the goblets. They're not.
Holy
I don't
moly.
know. They're not magic, but this axe is magical. But the goblets aren't. But I'm sure they can go for a pretty penny.
Wow.
Club, why?
Why
We're in this
what?
mess because you wanted some shiny things?
Listen. Sometimes it'd be like that. Okay.
No, sometimes that means that if we have to fight a dragon, you're fighting it alone and I'm gonna peace out.
In my defense, okay, when I took it, the dragon wasn't home. Okay, so like,
Okay,
it's not
when
really
you took
stealing if
it,
they're not home.
was it not home because you had already pissed it off?
I'm gonna decline to answer that question.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I'm gonna try this again. The last time the druid popped up, I said his name, Reidoth. If you're anywhere near, we need to talk to you. And if you're not, we're gonna be looking to find you. The druid interacted with me and Kiriko and Tarkon, but quickly disappeared in the size of a small squirrel.
Oh, interesting.
He's using a squirrel as his main druid shape-shifting form. But I guess saying his name did not work.
It might be a good idea for all of us to rest. Maybe
I think
leave
we need
this
to
area.
get away from this area and rest. Either that or find out where he lives so we can rest there. Maybe he's got something to help us out.
Can we get a time?
Yeah, you're looking like midday. It's like maybe 3:30.
Ooh. What do we do to get this guy's attention?
Well,
Burn down the forest.
I don't want to be the negative Nancy of the group, but the direction that I tracked the footprints was the same direction we heard that god awful scream.
It led back into the town.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're related, but I am saying that that's an unfortunate coincidence.
Mm.
Okay, so then we don't go to this person's house at all.
Why?
Yeah,
You're-
I mean, I didn't recognize the scream, but I've also never heard a squirrel scream, so I don't.
the druid helped us. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to.
It's not, I believe that he's good. I trust your judgment, but I'm not stepping foot in that town again.
Yeah.
Until I deal with this, and I'll just show off my many wounds.
This might be stupid, but wherever we end up deciding to rest, I want to try to damage the nature and see if that triggers him to come. Kind of like a call, like nature needs you, and maybe he'll show up. Because I have a feeling that it's possible that that's how he may have been alerted at our presence here. Nature called because we attacked the twigs. I guess technically they're a
DM.
part of nature.
DM.
Yep.
How deep in the woods are we right now?
You're about 40 feet in.
40 feet in. Okay. Is there a tree near me right now?
Tons.
I'm gonna find a tree and see a lower branch, and I want to rip it down.
Okay. I won't even make you strength check it. You're able to find a branch, no problem. There's tons of options. You're able to get. You'll get basically any length, 5 feet or shorter.
Yeah, I'll take a 3 feet one. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I'll just rep it off and like throw it at Lazuli's feet. All right, damage nature. Done. Let's see if he appears. I don't think he will.
Okay. So you wait patiently, listening in. Hear a little bit of wind through the leaves. Nothing really happens.
Can we kind of like look around, see if there's any animals, any creatures that we may see? Or, I don't know.
Give me a perception check. What's your passive?
12.
12. You kind of scan around. You're looking on the ground and in the trees and off in the distance a little bit, and you see a couple of birds fly overhead. You actually catch a little snake trailing off in the distance, and that's it.
Okay. I know what to do. How many feet are we gonna be? Like, let's just head north. How many feet you guys think we're gonna head north?
I say we go another 60 feet in to the woods.
Well, if we're gonna do a long rest, I'd probably say something like, I don't know, 200 to 300 feet. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm not thinking.
You know what? I like that. You know what? Even better. That's an even better idea.
Okay, so do we just all agree on 300 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my wood carving tools. And in the nearest tree, I want to start carving into the tree.
Okay. Just give me 1 sec. I'm just checking in on something. You guys are just doing something that I have to read that I've never. Just 1 sec.
We're going into an area that he didn't expect us to go into, is what he's saying. Guaranteed.
The woods.
Yeah, we travel 300 feet, and you're actually at the tower that you needed to go to. We're actually at Cragmaw Castle, and final boss is there, and you have to fight him. Yeah. And roll for initiative.
Okay, cool. I'm good. Okay, sorry. So just remind me again with the wood carving thing and all that. I was just reading.
I think due to being a hermit or something, I've got proficiency in wood carving, and the wood carving lady from Phandelver gave me tools. So I'm gonna be. I got proficiency. I think I can link it to. Oh, I have to just roll for it like that. Okay. I want to carve into the tree a message.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Does it go in?
Yeah, so you're able to very cleanly carve everything back, all the bark from the tree, and you get a nice smooth working surface. And the sharpness of these tools, they were clearly sharpened and ready for use. You're able to get that message in very, very nice and neatly. It would be impossible to miss from the dark bark that was around it. Now you've exposed this lighter wood underneath, and you've carved this message in very cleanly.
Okay, one more thing.
Yeah.
I have a red brand bracelet. Is it long enough to go around the tree?
It is. So
I have a few on my Warhammer. I can give it to him.
I will say that just kind of retroactively, there's tons of trees to have chosen from. You just chose a tree that it would have fit around, so it's a bit of a thinner tree.
Okay, I want to tie the bracelet around the tree.
Okay.
And I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready to go as well.
I want to take a 5-second like role play break so that everybody can look at my cat. He's like
Dorks.
hugging me. Anyway, that's all.
Clearly should have taken the Beastmaster route.
Hmm.
I
Clearly.
couldn't handle it if my animal died in the game.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I don't understand him. Why would you do that?
Okay.
Oh no! Oh, now we're cursed. We're
Here.
cursed now. The rest of the
I'll fix
session.
the
GG.
problem. I'll fix the
Oh,
problem.
she's going.
good.
She's
You're
good.
gonna.
Oh.
You're gonna
Actually, I'm gonna
GG's.
Okay.
Oh, that was a fun session.
Oh,
GG's
yeah, bye,
11.
everyone.
Oh.
What did you do and where did everyone go?
I don't know. You guys started it. I'm just fucking. You guys left, and then Frank's like, "All right, actually, I'm gonna be right back." I'm like, "All right, you know, GG, good session." And Lemon's like, "Yeah, actually, I'll be right back too." And I'm like, "All right."
My headset snapped in the metal part at me in the eyebrow. And it hurt. That's all.
What?
I'm bleeding.
No, what?
What did you do?
You're trolling.
I went to put my headset on and it like snapped in the metal part. Like this, it's
Oh.
kind of sharp. Hit me right here. There's like a very slight like blood blister. I think.
Blood
Hmm.
blister. That's a thing.
That was the most ridiculous series
Yeah,
of
blood
events.
blisters are a thing. Yeah.
They are.
All right.
I love that Frank puts his headset on the ground.
Oh well. Okay. So, let's continue.
Let's.
So you guys are going 300 feet north, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, what are you planning on doing here?
I think,
I will. Actually, you tell me what you want to plan on doing, and I'll tell you what I need.
I think we're
long
planning
rest.
on long rest, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you don't need to sleep.
Hold on.
Yep.
How long did it take us to travel 300 feet?
Not long. Only maybe traveling stealthily. You're probably looking at like maybe 2 minutes.
Okay.
And we're in the forest, like trees. We're in a canopy, right? Of
Yeah.
Trees.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we're just taking a long rest, maybe
He said we
healing
don't need
our
to sleep.
wounds. Yeah.
We don't need to sleep yet. Yeah.
Yeah, you
just mean,
can
like,
you can long rest. It takes
Oh, I
8
see.
hours. It is currently about 3:30, like I said. So it'll take 8 hours for you to long rest, and you can during your long rest you can do light activities.
I mean,
Anyone want to do anything?
Well,
Not
I'd say
really.
I feel like we can push back the long rest till nighttime, where we can actually sleep.
what do we do
Instead-
right now then? Like for now.
Hang out. Have some chow. Maybe Kiriko can go hunting. Get us some food, some like actual meat instead of rations.
I think if anyone's gonna get us meat, we should ask the guy who rips apart live animals.
As much as I
Can I
would
do
love,
a perception check on the nearest river?
I cannot hunt right now. I am not in any.
No, I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, okay.
He's
fair
talking
enough.
about me.
Yes, you can. Let me just see here. Yeah, so that same river that spilled out of Neverwinter, it's actually not too far to the north of you. You don't need to perception check for it. It is very clear. It is very clear based on just kind of the noise of rushing water that it's about 150 feet north of where you're at.
Okay, I'm gonna. I guess we're signaling to make camp here. Like I'm gonna like. I guess like drop my backpack and go over there.
You're going to the water?
Yeah, but I'll take my quarterstaff with me. But that's it.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I know where you guys are at. So are you doing a long rest right now? What are you guys doing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got 8 hours to, like I said, you can do light activity, you can sleep if you want. But yeah, so right now let's follow Lazuli. So you're going up north?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you drop your bags in this kind of little small area that you've got nestled out for yourselves, and you head north. About 150 feet up, as mentioned, you come across a fairly wide section of river. It's actually flowing a little bit more quickly here. There's a couple of rocks inside the river, and it's got a little bit of rapids moving through it. You could call it rumbling.
What session are we on? Still hurts. It still stings a little bit.
Okay.
So are you? So just tell me like where you're positioning yourself. Like you're just walking up to it, right up to the bank.
I want to take a shower.
Okay.
I think it's more of a bath.
Okay. So you step inside. A little bit colder than you expected, but you've been in all kinds of different water before, so it doesn't really bother you. When you get in, just kind of let the weight of your body just fall into the water. You can feel all the swelling of your wounds. And the inflammation just starts to die down a little bit under the coldness of the water. And when you put your head in the water to let it wash over your head, as soon as your head goes in, you can hear this it's almost loud. It sounds like it's close to you, like it's right next to your ear. This humming lullaby in this just sweet feminine voice, just humming in your ear. And it does that for about what seems like a very long time, but only about a minute passes. And when you pull your head up, you just see swaying side to side about 50 feet down the river, this flowing, very, very long gown with a human form inside of it. It's about 15 foot of gown just flowing towards you. And it just sits there swaying back and forth. And then in a moment, it just flows off down the river.
I'm gonna swim down the river inconspicuously.
Okay. What's your swim speed?
The same as my walking, so I've got 40 swim speed. Oh, I have 30 swim speed.
Okay. So you swim for couple of minutes, actually. You get a pretty good distance down the stream, and the river's actually flowing in the same direction as you. I just want to know as well, the kind of what's in your mind as you're swimming. Like, what are you thinking?
It's honestly just kind of blank. Like, it feels like that, like, blank slate of adrenaline that you get, you know, and you're just kind of like, whatever it is that you're focused on is the focus, and you're just trying to reach the target.
Okay. So you swim for a couple of minutes, and you get a pretty good distance. You're not really keeping track of how far you've gone. As you're going, passing all this different type of terrain, you're underneath the water, though. You can see very clearly just different rocks and rubble, and as you're swimming, you're kind of kicking it all up, so you can see there's this silt buildup around you, and you just keep moving down the river just faster and faster. And when you come up, take a look around, you can see directly in front of you, maybe 3 feet away from you, there is a tall, slender, beautiful, black, flowing hair, not wet, perfectly dry, water genasi, standing there in this flowing teal gown. And she just stares at you in your eyes, and you freeze, locked. You've never seen this woman before, but seems so familiar. And she reaches out her hand, and she just says, "Oh, child." And she reaches out her hand to yours.
I'm gonna reach out.
Ooh,
Okay.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So as you're reaching forward to touch her hand, the last thing she says before you touch her hand is, "I'm still with you, but not of this world." And you touch her hand, and your mind clears, and you just see flashes and visions of a world filled with water and clouds that roll across the top of the water, spires of rock piercing out sparsely amongst the water, castles built on top. And then you see the vision of a dark night of water and a shipwreck and bodies all around it. And then your mind flashes out and you're just standing in the water.
And do like can I like look around, see if there's anything that stands out to me?
Yep, make a perception check.
12.
12. So yeah, when you look around, it's unfamiliar territory. The river's a lot more shallow here. You're standing in the water on the bed of the water, and it's only going up to about your ankles. Everything around you is just woods on either side, just right up against the banks of the river, and the river's also a lot more narrow. It's only maybe 12 feet across here.
I'm gonna walk back.
I'd like to do something.
Okay. Anything, just so I know, anything on the walk back?
Just gonna like every like every like 15 feet, just look back to that spot. See if I spot anything.
The whole way, you take a look back, and it's just a river.
River.
Okay. Tarkon?
I want to set up a trap for a squirrel.
Okay.
So, I want to empty
What's
my
going on,
quiver,
Vexinator?
Mhm.
Vexinator X,
which is a
2, 3,
cylinder
4.
object.
Hello, hello.
and I want to set up a deadfall trap. So I'm gonna need to carve into some sticks. And I picked up some sticks from the
Twig blight.
the twig blight.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make a deadfall trap where the quiver is on the ground. And the deadfall the deadfall is like it looks like a 4. Do you know what a deadfall trap is?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to put a stone in front of the quiver so that when the creature or whatever goes in and trips the trigger, the stone falls and traps it in the quiver. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
So I'm going to put an object in the quiver. It's going to go past. It's going to trip the thing. The stone's going to fall. It's going to trap it in there. Or kill it.
Roll either a survival or a nature check.
Okay.
Can I help him with this?
Yeah. So roll with advantage.
Roll with advantage. Come
Yeah,
on. Oh,
Okay. Okay. So you're able to get it all set up. It's very diligent work, but with Club kind of helping you out, finding any materials you need, tying up some knots, you're able to save some time and take your time with it. And you do get a fairly decent trap set up.
okay. Now I don't have bait, but I wanted to use my cantrip, this, and just create a non-magical trinket or an illusionary image. So I just wanted to make like a nut or something, just like a walnut or a peanut or something,
Okay.
and just put it inside. Put it just on the inner side of the quiver.
Okay. So you load the trap with an illusory nut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Club and Kiriko.
Yeah, go ahead, Kiriko.
I don't really have much I was wanting to do. I was just kind of wanting to do a 4-hour trance thing. I have a DM question, just because I don't know. Are sirens a thing in the D&D universe? Yes. Okay. That was my only question. But I am going to just do a trance.
Sorry.
A trance.
Oh, you're going into
My sleep, essentially.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I'm still kind of conscious.
Okay. Simo, I'm gonna have you roll. You can choose either Arcana, Religion, or History.
Religion.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I'll let you double that up. I'll let you roll with it on that one. Okay.
Doubled it.
The vision that you've seen, the first vision that you saw with the clouds on top of the water and the world filled with water, you're pretty sure you've seen that in a text somewhere. And it's from what you remember, you think that it is a place where where certain gods live. Okay. So that is so if anybody, oh yeah, sorry, Club, I forgot.
Can I make a small fire, but not one that would emanate a lot of smoke, or if any smoke at all?
Yeah. Give me a survival or nature.
Survival. That's a 5.
A 5. Okay. So you kind of string some stuff together. You get basically like just bigger than a maybe like if you were to put 4 candles together. That's about as big of a fire as you get going.
Okay.
Can I help him
Yeah.
with my spell that I just linked? I can instantly light or snuff out a small campfire.
Okay.
And I just,
Pretty sure I have.
you have a tinder box. Yeah.
I have a tinderbox. Yeah.
Or is it
Oh.
already lit? Did you already light it?
I
Well,
think so.
I'll let you basically. At this point, you guys have a lot of extra things that you didn't mention, so I'll let you basically control how big you want this thing to be.
Yeah.
Just-
I don't want it. I don't want it big.
Just a normal
Yeah.
fire.
Okay.
I thought he didn't light it yet. I was just gonna like puff it, just like puff it into existence.
Okay.
Just a small campfire. That's it.
Okay.
I'm just showing
Anything
off my
else?
spells.
Anything
From
else?
me?
For Club?
Besides that, just studying the axe.
Okay. Okay, so Lazuli, when you get back to camp, you see there's a fire lit. You see Club looking over this axe. What languages do you know, Lazuli?
I know Dwarven.
Actually, what languages does everybody know?
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't link mine, but I know Common, Draconic, and Giant.
Okay. So
Glory.
so Lazuli, you see him studying this axe. He's kind of rolling it over in his hands, and when he rolls it over, you can actually see the runes carved into the shaft of this axe, and it's written in Dwarven. They're Dwarven runes, and it spells out just the word Q, Hew.
I'm gonna walk over to the club, and the tone that I will be using for this next sentence is like a father helping his son on a bicycle. Hey there, sport. I can help you out with that. I can speak, read, and write Dwarvish. You got yourself a little bit of a Hew axe.
You know Dwarven? That's what this is? This is Dwarvish?
Yeah, it spells out the word Hew.
Hew. What does that even mean?
Could be the name of a dwarf. I've known many Hueys, Louies, and Deweys. Some of them chewy, but
You do a history check, maybe?
me history or
Yeah,
club history.
No, it'd be you. You go ahead and roll a history check. Okay.
Not bad.
So, you're pretty into the study of all things Dwarven. You know that in the creating of powerful weaponry, especially in magic weaponry, the runes carved onto it basically represent the intention for the magic. So the magic kind of emanates because of the runes, and the word Hew, you remember just vaguely being a word of power, like to represent power.
Yeah, Hew was a strong guy. Hew was a strong guy. And it's a word specifically for the axe that represents power.
Power. Well, no better person to wield it than I. So is this axe's name then Hew, or no?
If you want to call it that, sure.
Nah, it needs a cooler name. I'll have to get back to you on it though. I haven't decided what it should be called.
And so I want to say a suggestion.
What is
Mm-hmm.
your suggestion? Let's hear it.
And I'm gonna say you should call it this in Dwarfish, and in Dwarfish, I say pussy. And I say that it means badass killer.
Okay. Roll a deception. Roll a deception. Deception.
No!
Okay. Club. Roll insight. Roll insight.
Roll insight. I rolled a 12.
Okay. So
Even if I rolled a negative, what if I rolled a 1 and I got a 2? What would happen then?
you would have seen. So you get the sense that that Lazuli might not be telling you the truth, but the word sounds cool.
Please, okay, so it's pronounced pussy or pussy?
No, he says it in
I
Dwarven.
said it in
so it
Dwarven.
Dwarfish.
in
I said it in Dwarfish.
Actually, hold on, just one sec. Maybe I don't know if I can
Pull
do
up a
this.
translator.
Honestly, I just tried to look up what it would be, and I couldn't find anything.
That's because the makers of the game aren't stupid.
Yeah, they aren't 15 years old.
Okay, it's Clecklot.
Oh, that's worse.
Click lock.
Click lock?
Ugh.
Click clock or click
Where did
lock?
you find that?
Clecklot.
Click lock.
What did you type in Google?
He's the DM. You don't need to worry. It's on a.
Click
Yeah,
lock.
this
All right.
isn't your problem. It's mine.
Oh, I'm gonna look at Lazuli. Kleklot.
Yes.
The great and powerful Kleklok axe. The Kleklot Slayer. Man, I kind of like it. I kind of like Kleklot Slayer.
You see, it can't be used in that context. It's
No?
It can't be. No. It's like you're saying Slayer. You know, you can't do that. It doesn't quite fit. Like it's its own cool name. Like.
Oh my god.
So if I'm about to fight somebody, can I be like taste the Kleklot?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
I hate it here. I hate it here so much.
So I wonder if I like. Never mind. But I like Kleklok.
I beg you just to stop.
Oh, I have plenty more, but
I know, but I beg you.
Well, Lazuli, I'm gonna maybe get some other suggestions from the other two first, and then I will weigh all my options.
So, hey, listen. I know you'll circle back to Kleklaw. I know. I just know. It's a dwarven axe. You got to give it a dwarven name. Okay, think about that.
Yes, but I am not a dwarf. I am a giant. So I feel as much as I should humble, the dwarves, but like.
Well, if there's ever a word that you want in dwarfish, just let me know and I'll give it to you. Like if you want giant, like Goliath crusher or something, you just say, and then in dwarfish, I want to say coward.
Wait, Dwarven. Isn't the language called Dwarven? Because Dwarfish sounds stupid.
Dwarven.
That's
sure.
dwarfish.
Dwarven.
So this is, I don't even know how to pronounce this really, but this is the word you say.
Jalkith. Yeah, that's.
What did you say? What did you say that it meant again?
It meant
Coward.
No. I said it meant giant
Goliath.
dominator
Yeah.
or Goliath dominator.
I think you said Goliath.
Goliath dominator. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Lazuli,
I'm just saying, if you want me to translate something, I got you. You know, if you want a cool word in Dwarven, I'll do it for you.
well, the same goes to you for anything draconic or giant. But I do want to get some suggestions from the others.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
thank you. Maybe one time you can teach me some Dwarvish, and I can teach you some giant. Have a few brewskis, and we can
I'll think about it.
Well, that's fair. I want to go up to Kiriko. Oh no, she's in her trance, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I see that. So I'll go to Tarkon. Tarkon, I just got this incredible name from Lazuli. Like, apparently it's like super badass and like super cool for my axe. But he called it a Klekklot. But I just want to hear what your suggestions are, and I'll like show him the axe a little bit.
What? What does that mean?
Apparently it means like super badass or like slayer.
I mean, it fits your personality.
It does. Really does. Yeah, I just wanted to get some suggestions from everybody. When I think of a name, I'll have to ask everybody again what they think of it. But yeah, I just wanted to see if you had any suggestions for me.
How does it look? Again, it's an axe. Is it gold? And then it has dwarven runes in it.
So it's a big steel battle axe, but interwoven through it, you know what Damascus steel looks like. So imagine that, but it's like rust in much kind of clunkier patterning. And then the hilt of it, the steel kind of runs all the way through the hilt, and there are runes on the side of the hilt, dwarven runes.
Yeah, I don't really have any suggestions, but I think Klekklot sounds like a good name.
Yeah,
I think it fits you.
Yeah, I think it does too. Sure hope it doesn't get wet though.
It might slip out of your. It might be too slippery. It might slip out of your hands.
Is this whole session gonna be?
All right, that's it.
Thank you, Tarkon. Thank you. Well, definitely. That's 2 votes for Klekklot. Oh, two people for one Klekklot.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what it means, so.
I'll just go back to I'll just go back to the fire and wait for Kiriko to wake up.
I have an
trance.
action. Okay, I have an action.
She died.
Don't worry, I'm preparing words.
Where's everyone located?
I'm at the fire.
Okay, so he's kind of like staring into the fire, right? And where is?
I'm close to my trap because I only can be 10 feet away from it
Oh.
to cast that spell. So
Okay. I want to try something, Frank. Is there a tree within Kiriko's sightline that is behind Club, quite a distance away from Club?
In Kiriko's sightline?
Yeah, like when she like.
Well, she's asleep.
I know, but like when she's in a trance, she's sitting. She's not lying down.
I mean, there's trees everywhere.
Okay.
Trees everywhere.
Okay.
I think he wants a tree that she can see that I can't see. That's
Sure. Yeah.
back once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, is there something like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's trees everywhere.
Okay. I want to stealthily walk over to the tree.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead
Do
and
I
stealth.
roll for stealth?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So should
And
club?
who are you trying to avoid here?
I think I'm far enough away from Tarkon, but I think club is the one that I'm trying to.
Okay, give me your perception, Club.
My passive is 11. That's what I rolled.
Okay.
Or no, I didn't roll that, but that is I rolled lower, so whatever.
Okay.
11.
So you go undetected. You're kind of moving your way through behind him.
Okay. I want to take a dart in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take Kiriko's letter in the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to. Actually, no. Hold on. I need to think about this. I want to take my wood carving tools and try to kind of like dig in like a little hole, just a little hole into the, and try not to make any noise while I do it.
Okay, roll the wood carving. Okay. Yeah, no problem. It's a hole.
Okay, I want to try to find a stick that fits that same hole size.
Okay. There is a ton of stuff, but if you're looking for something like that's gonna basically perfectly fit, give me a nature check, and I'll give you advantage on it.
Ooh,
okay.
Wow.
I mean, you find something that just kind of loosely jams in there. There's a little bit of leeway.
Okay. I want to try to, without damaging the letter, kind of jam the stick and the letter together in that hole so the letter kind of dangles, but it's like secure.
Okay. Last check. I'll give you a sleight of hand. Okay. So you get it. It kind of crumples the page a little bit more than you'd like. You see a little small tear happen with the stick, but you let it go and it just barely kind of sticks in there.
What do I have? That's about as good as I think it's gonna get. And we're gonna join Club by the Fire.
Okay.
Couple of bros hanging out by the fire. 5 feet apart, though.
Yep.
6
Okay.
feet. COVID regulations.
I wasn't referencing COVID, but yep.
So you guys are just chilling out doing your thing. I am gonna say that you're gonna have to eat. So for whoever's got rations, make sure to remove one. And
Yes,
Kiriko
sir.
will do that eventually too, so you can just remove it now.
While we're waiting for her, can I short rest?
You guys are
Or, you
long
know-
resting.
Oh,
Wait,
long resting. Okay.
How many rations did we get? Because I never put those in.
Depends on the kit that you got. It depends on the kit. I started, I think, with like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that.
Oh, I never got rations at all.
Yeah, it came in my
Yeah,
hermit kit.
I think you took thieves' tools instead.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that I trap something. That's what I'm doing right now, so I don't have food.
Okay, so on that note, actually, Lemon, I'm gonna have you. You are going to roll a. Roll a d20. Just raw.
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay, so you your trap unfortunately goes unnoticed to the wilderness, and you haven't caught anything in. We'll call this you're a couple hours deep.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Couple hours has passed.
Yes. Okay. So this is what you've got. So in the first hour, you're able to identify this axe as I mean, you know that it's called Hue, which helps. It is a magical item. It's a magic axe,
Yes, sir.
and it is a +1 battle axe. So what that means is it's in addition to what your modifiers are, it's +1 to hit, and I believe it's +1 on damage. I apologize, I'm gonna have to look into that, but I'm 99% sure.
Yeah,
+1 on
Plus one.
damage.
I'm gonna. Do you mind if I send it to Roll20 to double check
Send what?
the item? Like this? That's what it is?
You have a +1 bonus to attack. Yeah, and damage. Okay, perfect. Yep. So that's that. And then in addition to that, this was actually made in intention for not only defending themselves, but for an ancient troop of dwarven woodcutters. And so in addition to that, it also does maximum damage when it hits a plant creature or any object made out of wood. Lastly,
Any object or any creature made of wood?
Object. So plant creature or object made out of wood.
Okay.
So that is that.
Screw them
And-
all. He's axing up now.
Now
Yes,
I
sir.
imagine. So are you going to attempt to attune to it on the next hour?
Oh, of course. 100 P, baby.
Okay. So after the next hour, when you're kind of rolling it over in your hands, just keeping a grip on it. After that, about an hour passes, you start feeling like very uneasy. You just feel a little strange. You are attuned to it now.
Okay, I
You
think
just
I have to
feel
do that somewhere.
like a little bit more on edge, a little bit paranoid.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. So I'm just going to roll forward in time here, and you guys stop me if there's anything crazy you want to do. So after the first 4 hours have passed, Kiriko, you wake up, and you wake up to a scene of this fire that's lit. There's a couple of people, there's your crewmates are sitting around it.
Do I see that note thing?
You definitely do. It is just over Club's head and several feet behind him, attached to a tree.
I just want to go grab it, I guess, because I'm curious.
Okay.
So it made me feel nervous, Frank. Sorry.
Uneasy, a little bit paranoid.
Uneasy. Sorry, I was trying to find it in the D&D Beyond.
Okay. So now, sorry, I need to go back through here.
What?
I don't like that little giggly you just gave us.
No, I'm just laughing.
I think he's sending the letter to Kiriko.
Oh my god, I have. Oh my
So
god.
you picked the letter off the tree, and that's what it reads.
All right.
Okay.
I just want to smile and tuck it away.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Have I had any success?
Roll me another d20.
Okay. Mamma mia. Boom. Ooh.
So when you in about the 4th hour, you hear the trap release and a bunch of squealing and squirming and a lot of shuffling around, and there is a small gray rabbit caught in the trap.
I'd like to do this in... How far am I away from the camp, would you say?
Well, the trap is 10 feet off from you, and I'd say you're still relatively close. You're probably 10 feet to the closest person.
Okay. In the quietest manner, I'd like to capture this rabbit and start prepping it to cook it.
Okay. So give me
Roll to defer.
give me a sleight of hand check.
Roll to skin.
Okay, so you're actually able to very, very swiftly take it out. You grab it by the scruff of the neck. You are able to kill it, and you take it off into the distance, and you're able to skin it and butcher it very cleanly.
Okay. I'm just gonna take a stick and kind of skewer it, and
Okay.
then start roasting it over the fire.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Tarkon. Hey, do you still have the skin from that?
Yeah.
Can I have it, please?
For what?
I don't know. Just kind of curious. I just want to have it. To be
Are
honest.
you putting it in your water skin?
No, I will not be. I will not be putting it in my water skin. No.
Sure. You can have it.
Cool. Okay. With this said, rabbit skin. I want to take my warhammer, which is now completely obsolete to me. I don't care about it. I want to unwrap the multiple red brand cloths that are tied to it.
Okay.
And I want to ask Tarkon to poke 2 holes in either side of it for me with his dagger, so I can feed the bracelets through it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, you're poking a hole through what?
The like
rabbit
this,
skin, I
yeah.
guess.
So
Okay.
like, yeah. So on either side, there's going to be holes.
Okay.
I want to. I think I have like 3 or 4 red brand things.
You've got 4.
4. Okay. I want to string them all together and then
Are you
tie
making a mask?
them to the holes. Like make a knot in the holes, so that way like it makes like almost like a belt with the rabbit fur.
Yeah.
And I'm going to equip that. Take off my pants and equip that as my pants.
Wait. Like a loincloth?
Yep.
What is this episode?
It's still gooey. Also,
I'm gonna let you roll
It
this
hasn't
one,
been
buddy.
treated.
Oh my god.
I'm going to let you roll nature, and this is going to be a little bit of a luck check. Okay.
Nature, not survival? That's what feels bad.
Oh, it's nature.
I rolled a 0.
Okay. I'll let you know in a couple minutes.
Oh.
Okay. So, okay. So over, you guys are kind of hanging out. Just again, let me know if there's anything you guys want to add in as time's passing here. So you're rolling into about 5 hours past. As you're
I have
sitting
something
there,
I want to do.
legs exposed, you can't help but notice, like, you feel a little bit of a itch. And you look down to your loincloth and you see that there's like a little black dot just jumps off the fur.
Okay.
Oh, tick.
I think it's a flea.
Or a flea. Oh.
I'm gonna stand up, proud, flaunting my now new loincloth, and I'm gonna say out loud, I dub this loincloth Prince Albert.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to point my battle axe at Kiriko and say, I need a name for this weapon. Have you any ideas? The only ideas I got was from Lazuli. He recommended to me Kleklot, which apparently means strong and superior and warrior something or other in Dwarvish. And Tarkon agreed that should be what we should call it. But I want to get your suggestion as well.
I think I have a few that would be better. I feel like I feel like that's a weird word. You know, it sounds strange.
All things sound strange to me. It's Dwarvish, so.
Yeah, it just, you know, it doesn't really roll off the tongue whenever you're yelling. I don't know. If we were going something elven, there's always the word for strong, which is just burr, BIIR. It's just, you know, it's got some gumption. What he doesn't know is it's actually the word for garbage.
Okay, hold on. Roll a deception check. And insight from club.
I have a passive insight that's higher than that.
No. You have a passive perception. I'm looking for insight.
Nope. Passive wisdom insight.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 11.
Okay, well, this is an active check anyways, so.
Okay. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. But I mean, there's that, and then, you know, I also speak Orcish, and Orcish is a language of like brute big guys, right? So there's
when I hear the word Orcish or orc, I spit on the ground.
So you don't want anything Orcish?
Fuck no. Those orcs, dirty, disgusting creatures, vile creatures. I have fought many in my day, and I promise you, I never let one escape. And I didn't just kill the men. I killed the women and the children too. I hate orcs.
Huh.
Tried to take over my towns. I don't think so. Club's coming in, and he's kicking ass.
Finally, something we can agree on. All right. Well, I like burr better than Klekklot because that sounds like you're just gonna get drowned in your own spit when you say it.
Yeah.
So,
How do you spell it? Sorry.
BIIR. Is particularly what it really means is garbage, and it's used as an insult against anyone that's slightly human. But they use it as like garbage can.
Okay.
And just as a side note, the Orcish words I was going to use is one is like basically an idiot, but then the other one is an insult used for dwarves. So it would have just been funny to be like, "This is my proud dwarven axe."
And it's just shitting
like,
on
fucking idiot and like about dwarves, like.
man.
But side note, it's funny. So there you go.
Name for humans.
Okay. So I'm about to roll you guys onto the end of the long rest.
Okay.
Okay. So that takes place. Everybody heals all the way up.
Oh, I feel so good.
Reset
feel
your
so
spell
good.
slots. Get your key. I don't know if David can hear me, but get your key back. Anything that comes back after a short or long rest, you have back now.
I feel like $1 million. Like I feel like I can take the dragon on now. Even with this fucking rabbit skin loincloth.
Phrank, I don't have inspiration anymore.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
You have it till you use it.
Oh, Jinx, you want me to? Jinx, you want me to
How do you
Starbucks
use
thing?
inspiration?
Anytime you make any roll on a d20, check, whatever, anything other than death saves, you can use your inspiration to re-roll it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Actually, sorry, no, I think you can use them on death saves too, but whatever. Anytime you roll a d20.
Okay.
Okay, so Simo's not here. Queen's not here.
Yeah. Oh, see, like I have to go with my insight checks. I feel as much as I would love to have Klekklot as the name of my axe.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with your old pants?
I
We'll
came
just hold
back.
on to one
I
for
came
now.
back to something fun. What are you doing with your old pants?
Wait, he was here for when I
No,
commissioned
he
the
wasn't.
loincloth.
He wasn't here, was he?
I
With the rabbit?
He was here for when I made my loincloth. He wasn't here for Kiriko's name for my axe, so.
Oh. How did she react?
She, you know, I'll let Kiriko answer that. I feel like that's better.
Oh, I just thought that the word that you gave him felt off. It felt like it wouldn't be one that could be yelled easily. So I gave him a different word.
What word was that?
In Elven, it means strong, like leader, or kind of the head of the group. But it's called Burr. It's Biir. It's it has a lot of gumption behind it.
You guys heard her, leader of the group. It makes sense why I should that I stumbled across this axe, and that she thinks it should be called this. Obviously, she sees me as the leader of the group compared to you, Lazuli, and that just makes sense.
Listen, a dwarven axe with an elven name. Name a worse combination.
Well,
Hey,
she
we
tried
like
to recommend
dwarves.
me orc. She tried to recommend
Dwarves
orcish
and
to me.
elves do not like each other. Have you heard of the fabled tale, The Lord of the Rings?
Oh my god.
I have heard of that book. There wasn't as much pictures of that as for a club to keep up with. So,
or the prequel to that, The Halfling. Come on now.
The half.
I hate it here.
So you missed it, Simo, but long rest has ended. You guys are all healed up. Get all your key back. Get whatever you need back after long rest or short rest. You get your hit die back. Don't forget about that. And you guys are ready to rock.
What is hit die?
Yeah, what's that?
You use them on short rest. So you're level 3, so you should have 3 hit die.
They're like health regen.
Yeah, they're like health regen on a short rest.
Oh shit, I haven't been doing that.
We don't short rest.
You have been doing it. You have.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
well, since I am I do like Kiriko's naming of the axe. I'm sorry, Lazuli, but just when she said it, I felt a little better about naming the axe Burr. But I do want to pray to my god, and maybe he'll answer me, and maybe he'll give me an idea for this axe. So the jury's still out for now. My axe does not have a name, but rest assured, I will get a name for this axe.
I just had to add one more thing for you, Club. So when you swiped up all that stuff, you didn't count the gold?
I didn't know.
Okay, so you're going to add 584 silver.
What the fuck?
And then you're going to add 109 gold.
Okay.
And that's it.
I don't get. There's no copper, electrum, or platinum.
Nope.
Electrum.
Apparently, it's a thing. I don't
It's
know, I'm
playing
gonna-
D&D 5e FTB.
We're not using electrum.
Oh, okay.
It's like an optional thing. I'm not using it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. You guys can choose what you want to do.
I'm going to stand up and say, because he helped me in my time of need, he got me out of danger. Sir Tarkon here, I dub thee the benefactor, co-leader of the party, and I'm going to give him 50 gold for helping me out.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm going to give 50 gold to Kiriko and Lazuli for giving me their names.
I don't know if you want to give.
50 silver. 50 silver each, sorry.
I don't think you want to give me this silver.
Wait,
What?
50 silver
I don't
each?
accept you as the leader of the party.
All right, well, you don't have to accept me. I'll give it. I'm giving you 50 gold, Tarkon, for helping me out.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
50 gold to Kiriko for the name. And for dubbing me basically the leader of the party.
Okay, are you saying gold or silver?
Yeah, you're saying
50
or
gold
silver?
to Tarkon,
Okay.
silver to Kiriko.
Okay.
Sorry.
Frank, I see you.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's about it for me.
I will say this as well, just because obviously some things took place. So as you were during your long rest a bit earlier on, I'm going to retcon this in. You did hear quite a bit of a ruckus still back at the town. Even though it was in the distance, there was a lot of loud noises, a lot of roars, a lot of just a lot of stuff. It only lasted for about an hour and a half, but it was pretty relentless the whole time. And then it just died off over time. And for the last 6.5 hours, you didn't really hear anything.
Well, Mr. Cole, what do you think we should do?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah, I elected you co-leader of the party because I am the leader of the party, according to Kiriko.
We should look for the druid. What's his name again? Sorry, I forget.
Reidoth.
Reidoth.
As leaders, you should
Club
get it
pronouns.
right.
Listen,
You're right.
as a club, I will do my best.
You don't want to. I mean, as a leader, you don't want to insult another leader. This druid could be a leader of the druids.
You're right, but I'm sure he'd understand. Judging by the way I look, that he would understand.
That you get his name wrong? I don't know if you'd
Yeah.
understand. I think that's difficult to understand because you don't know who is speaking to you and get their
Well, I
name
know
wrong.
roughly what his name is. Just because I don't pronounce it right doesn't mean it's any ill intent.
How do
involved
we
in such a
summon?
thing.
How do we summon a druid?
Listen, man, I just hit things with my weapon.
Seems like
I don't know.
a leader type question, Tarkon. Unfortunately, I can't help.
Oh, we're collectively discussing.
Lazuli, I can't help but feel a little hostility coming your way at me.
I'm just trying to be a good follower.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
Well, we need
Well,
to come up.
Kiriko,
we
what
need
do you
to come
think?
up with a solution together.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have an idea.
Maybe we call. Yeah.
I just need permission from the leader that I can share my idea.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I suggest that we stay in the tree line and we scout out the rest of the perimeter of this town.
That sounds like a great idea.
That way we can see kind of like all from I guess as far as we possibly can see, we can kind of, see what is closest on the outskirts. Yeah, we're not going to know what's in the center, but at least we get a little bit of a better understanding of what this village looks like on the outside, and we get to stay stealthy and safe.
Yeah, I like that. Now, just gonna preference this here. If we run into any issues, as said leader, I said because I've done it before, done it enough times. I've already taken it once. I can take it again. If the dragon shows up, I will distract him, and you guys get away.
No, you're just saying that because you feel better now. You're
Oh,
rested.
of course. I'm gonna flex my muscles a bit.
How many times did it hit you?
Whew. A lot. It hit me a
Insight check.
lot. Yep.
Insight check. I'm rolling.
Okay. Roll it. And then give me a deception check.
I rolled a nat 20. I'm not even kidding you.
Okay. Yeah, man. You went to war with this dragon.
All right. Well,
I hate that I rolled a nat 20 on that. Fuck.
yeah. I guess we should. So we're not going to look for the druid. We're just going to scope out the town.
Well, I honestly think he's gonna bump into us. Like, we based on what Kiriko said, and maybe she can add some additional context, but there was thousands of squirrel footprints. Like, we're not finding this guy.
I think what we should do first, as I think we should scour the perimeter. I think we should check on our cart first, because that's where the noise came from.
Well,
we
yeah,
heard.
I also want to check my little carving. Like, I don't know, maybe he left a little present. I don't know what happened, but let's check there and then wrap around to the cart.
Yeah, let's do it. Totally.
Get.
Okay.
Oh, that.
Okay. So you guys are heading to the tree line then?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so when you get to the tree line, you make your way through. I'm also going to have just a group stealth, if everyone can roll for me.
Yep.
Okay.
17 for me.
Okay. Okay, so
And this is why I'm the leader, by the way, Lazuli.
so you guys are traveling as a group, and throughout your travels, you're moving pretty noiselessly. You make your way down to the tree line, and what you can see is, so first thing, where you guys are standing, by the way, is like directly where you would have been. So this is where you come up. So what you can see is on the slanted hill that leads up to the tower where the dragon was, there is a massive area of brush that is burned exactly the same as the tree line was on the road up to Neverwinter. Just carved straight out, and the spider that Club was hiding in previously is just gone. It's not there anymore. There's just a whole path carved through. You can also see that from where you're standing that your cart is overturned. In front of the cart is an absolute massacre of both of the ox.
No!
The rib cage of one of them, you can see, has been just totally ripped open and splayed open. It seems to be placed specifically in that manner. It's like with the legs and the head, it almost makes like a star, and just the rib cage is totally splayed open. The other one is there's only half of it remaining, and it is the back half, still kind of hunched over where it would attach to the cart, and the cart is just overturned. Everything, all the items are just kind of crushed all over the ground. And that is what you can see from where you're standing.
Did we pass the carving?
You did. So when you go back to the tree, your carving is still there.
Nothing. Can I do like an investigation, see if there's like anything kind of left behind, or like, if somebody carved something on another tree or something?
Yep. Go ahead and investigate.
Bad rolls today, man. Jesus.
You maybe could see maybe there's a little bit extra bark missing that you don't quite remember having taken off, but that's about it.
Well, looks like the dragon was hungry.
Yeah. Nobody had anything important in the cart, right?
I bought a pickaxe. It was in there, but not really that important.
A pretty good trade pickaxe for a dwarven lawnmower.
axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, how do we want to do this?
Let's start on the left side and kind of wrap around. I mean, like, he did go this way, right? So maybe if we wrap around like this, maybe he's like down here somewhere, maybe. So let's just start and go the other way and stay as far away from the dragon as possible.
Oh, I just realized it's also nighttime. You're looking at about 11:30.
Oh, okay. Will we get hit with exhaustion if we don't sleep?
You will. But I mean, you still have a little bit to you guys were asleep by I think 1:30 the previous night.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So why don't we do half the town. Let's wrap around, and then at this halfway point, we'll go 300 meters south, 300 feet south, and sleep.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And then in the morning, we'll do the other half, the more dangerous half, where the dragon
like that
can
idea.
see our booty cheeks from afar.
Okay.
That dragon will not be giving us any more issues with this new fandangled axe. I will take point, by the way. As the basically as the leader, I mean, I have to.
Okay. So you guys crawl your way down. Now, actually, let me just know, do you see a piece of paper there, or do you see grass?
Paper.
Paper.
So this is basically just the way the map is, so I'm gonna have to leave that as is. But
So just treat it as grass or like overgrown grass, like the bushes here?
yeah.
Okay.
So when you make your way down that way, this is unfortunate how I'm gonna have to reveal this. So you crawl your way down, and you. Who has dark vision?
I do.
Me.
Okay. So you guys kind of help out in getting everybody moving along here, as it is totally dark outside. As you creep your way through the woods, you come up to the outskirts here, and you see that there is this building here. You've also kind of seen these previously. So this building here is actually probably the most intact building that you've seen. The windows are barred from where you're standing, but only keep in mind only Kiriko and Tarkon can see this. The windows are barred, and you can actually make a perception check for me. Yeah, so from where you're at, you can see that the windows are barred, and Tarkon, you think you can make out a faint glow from inside the barred window. You can also catch a glimpse of that door that's on there as well. And actually, I'll reveal this for you guys down here too. So there's a window on on all three sides of these walls. And you also catch that there is another path leading down out of town, which is very similar to the one from the northwest.
It looks like there's a house that looks pretty intact, and I think there might be someone in there.
Well, Club and I can't do anything tonight anyways.
That's why I'm describing it. I'm just describing it. Why can't you do anything tonight?
We don't have dark vision.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah.
We can't even see. We can't even see
like
what you're talking about.
It looks like there's light coming from this building.
Technically, wouldn't Club and I be able to see that just faintly, or is it just too far?
You can't even see the building.
Okay.
Well, if there's light, that means there is something that has created light in that building. And can you see if it's a building big enough for a dragon to be in there possibly? Like, how big is it?
I mean, it would fit, but it would be crouching down. So it's like slightly bigger than the cottage that you were in that was attached to the tower.
It could also be a prison. Like the dragon could be holding things or people hostage. If I was a druid, would I want to live like 50 feet away from a dragon tower? I don't think so.
Well, you said that the druid can shapeshift. Maybe he has secrets that he doesn't want people to know about, or he's hiding from somebody. This is the best hiding spot ever.
Someone in my chat said, "Crouching dragon, hidden building."
I think I should investigate.
Yes.
Hey, can we wrap around to this bottom side, perchance, maybe?
Yeah, you can do that.
What would you prefer, Tarkon?
Would you rather us go through? Oh,
it's up to you.
yeah. No, let's go down here.
Okay.
Actually, here, I'm gonna reveal the majority of this so you can. It's just the I'm just not gonna reveal part of it. Just the legend.
Is that the
Oh.
legend right there?
Okay. Okay. So sorry. Are you guys all traveling down there?
We're sticking as a pack.
So
Yep.
We're kind of out in the open down here.
Yeah. So the woods do encroach in, but once you get to the path, it is pretty wide open.
I think we should probably stay more in the wooded area.
Yeah,
So
we should stay.
is this technically wooded, Frank? Where
yeah.
where
All,
Tarkon is?
can't see, but it is. Yeah. The woods would
Okay.
would be.
I say we go here instead.
Now I can see the light.
Actually, give me a perception check for both the other two.
Oh my
11.
god, bro, that's 3 nat 1s today. Holy.
You blind.
I'm glad I'm not doing any fighting. Holy smokes.
Club, what'd you say?
11. That's my passive.
11. Okay. So yeah, it's a very dim light. Tarkon's barely able to catch it. Even as you guys are moving, he loses track of it. So really, still only Tarkon sees that flicker.
I can't even see my hands in front of me. Stick out my hands.
If he can't see his hands in front of him, but can he detect that I have liquid in my water skin?
Okay, it was a joke.
No. I'm not joking about this. This is a serious question.
Can he smell it?
Can he detect it? Because he's waterborne, right?
Oh no. I don't. No, he doesn't have.
Yeah, I don't have detect water as a passive. It's not.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
I want
He
to
has
take
to
a
see
closer
it
look.
physically.
Okay, to the window.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to sneak.
Okay, go ahead and stealth. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you kind of creep your way across the grass, and it's just Tarkon going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you creep your way across the grass. The window that's on the side facing the majority of the group, that's where you can you kind of get up a little bit, and you can see that the window is mostly shuttered and it's barred from the outside, and it's shuttered on the inside. But there is a very tiny corner of the shutter that's just lifted a little bit, and that's where you were able to see inside. From the angle that you're able to get, you can actually see that there is a fire actually in the northern side of the building, but you can't really see anything outside of that.
I want to knock on the door and then hide. Like play
Nicky Nanda.
yeah.
Okay.
So I want to go to the door.
Okay. And when you get there, you see that the door is barred, and it's a big, thick, reinforced door.
Okay. I would just like to knock 3 times and go to this tree line here and just kind of hide behind a tree
Okay.
and like kind of peer out at the door.
Okay.
behind the tree.
So you basically, as soon as you hit the brush, you turn around and you look back, and you can see that there is that the door actually cracks open a little bit, and it stays open. Opens by about an inch.
I'd like to just say hello from the tree line.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
You see a hand, a slender human hand,
Oh god.
reach out through the door and just kind of beckon.
Oh yeah. I've seen enough scary movies. Okay. I'm just gonna go back to the group
Oh.
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell them
Oh no.
that there's someone inside and he wants us to come in.
No.
He or she wants us to come in.
Oh.
I think we do it. It's the only safe. No, hear me out. It's the only
No,
safe.
Club, you're the leader. You can go.
Yeah, I think as the benefactor leader, yeah, I should be taking point, and I should be trying to get us in here. I got this. Tarkon, you're gonna have to help me out here. You're gonna have to walk me to this door. I can't see anything. But once I get there, once you point out where the door is, you can leave, and I will knock and I'll enter.
Can we
I
move
should've-
all
can
like
I
here?
read?
I want to move here.
I guess never mind. I was gonna say, can I redact something?
What did you want to?
I wanted to see if it was kind of like ominous, but it doesn't matter. I want to play along with the fact where I feel like it's friendly.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay. Okay. So the door still, when you guys get back there, it has now, the door had to open a little bit to let the hand through, but it's now still gone back to just the 1-inch crack.
Simo can't see anything. So.
Yeah,
No.
can I see that? Because there's probably a little bit of light.
Yeah, you can now see that inside there is a bit of light emanating from the crack in the door, so you're able to make that out.
Okay. All right, guys. I will go in, and
I think we all should go collectively.
yeah, I like that idea a lot.
At least maybe
50-50.
if someone wants to stay back.
I think me and Kiriko stay back. You two go in, and because
What should be our sign to
We will. You and I should whistle. Like we'll go to the door, we'll whistle, like a little tune,
Do you know how to
quiet.
whistle? Club.
Will I have to roll for that?
performance. Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to whistle to prove that I can. My hand is up. I rolled a nat 20
Okay.
again.
Wow.
You're like a bird.
you just rock out like just the most beautiful. Like everybody's kind of a little caught off guard, and like their eyes close, and like, they listen to this like sweet tune coming out of your.
Do the birds fly to me like in like Snow White, where they lands on my finger?
I know, but a mosquito lands on your jaw.
All right,
All right.
Tarkon, let's get in there. Let's go.
Okay. You lead the way.
Yes, sir. Of course. Big strong man coming through. Here we go.
Okay, so you approach. You can see that the door is big and thick and reinforced with iron bars.
Yep. I'm just gonna push it open and walk in.
Okay. So when you walk in, there is a fire in the northeastern corner of the building. And
Okay.
ba-da-ba.
No way.
No! Oh, you're kidding. I would have fought it. I don't even care. I would have fought that motherfucker right then and there.
Okay, that was my best one yet. Okay. So you walk in, and it's a very, very simple living space. It's quite small. It is, as you can see, 20 feet by 30 feet. And there's just a small fire crackling in the corner. It seems a little bit eerie. It's not really emanating any smoke. You can't smell anything, but there is a small pot boiling on top of it, a small cauldron. And just in the center of the room, sitting on a little rocking chair, is an old man holding a staff with long flowing green and brown robes. Tarkon, you recognize him from earlier.
Oh.
I'm gonna approach him. Stay about 5-10 feet back. Look at Tarkon.
I'm gonna get a token for him while you're doing this, brother.
Yep. Tarkon is. Do you know this person at all?
I believe this is the druid we're looking for. Reidoth?
Reidoth.
Reidoth. Yeah.
So when you say his name, he stiffens up and stops rocking his chair. He just says, "Ah, you've heard of me."
Yes, of course. Tarkon, do you mind explaining who we are? I'm gonna go notify the others and have them come in. If Mr. Reidoth, if you don't mind, if you don't mind me bringing the rest of our party members in here.
No, you're my guest for the night, it seems.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna open the door a little bit and whistle.
Okay.
Dude, perfect timing.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that check from earlier.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, hello. He's got a square token. This man's fucking huge.
So when you guys enter, he says, "Oh, would you close the door behind you? There's many things that bump in the night."
Many things?
I'll close the door. I think I was last to enter, so I'll close the door.
You mean the dragon that lives in this town? Is that what you mean by many things go bump in the night?
Well, he might.
Pretty sure it's a female. Like, I'm like 99% sure the dragon is a female. Bet you didn't know that one, did you?
He just starts rocking again, just holding on to his staff. Did you get close enough to tell?
Oh, did I get close enough? I rode her.
Fascinating. And he kind of looks very intrigued at that. He's continuing to rock back and forth. Well, it just got here. And it's already putting up quite a stir. Who are all of you?
Before we get into that, it just arrived here? Like, it just recently took over the tower in this town?
Yes, not too long ago. You see, I frequent here quite often, and I've never seen a dragon. Certainly not this one.
Interesting. Well, I will hold up my end of the bargain. My name is Club. I am the leader of this here group. We are called...
And I just hold that. I visibly behind him go...
And I clear my throat.
And we are known as Club and the Gang. This here, and I'll like wrap my arm around Tarkon. This here is my number 2. The other 2 in the back, well, I don't really have ranks for them yet, but...
And then I peep up behind and I say, if we were ranked by intelligence, though, you know that he wouldn't be the leader.
Yes, but we're not ranking it off intelligence, are we? We're ranking it off of Kiriko potentially naming this axe to be, one that is leader of the group. So if you have any problems with the leadership choice, you can look at Kiriko for that one. Just saying.
Maybe you should ask Reidoth what he thinks of your axe's name.
Oh, you're right. Sir Reidoth. This axe, what do you think it should be named? I'm really struggling with a name for it, and I feel like, and we got a friend here. His name is Lazuli. He thought Kleklot, the dwarven term for strong and stout, powerful. And this here young lady, Kiriko, she wanted a elvish name. She's elvish, so it makes sense. It's called Burr. It means leader of the party, overall powerful. So,
So as you're saying these names, he just kind of squints his eyes and he just looks at the axe as you're holding it out and he just says, "Young Goliath, I believe Hugh would do the axe the most service." And he just kind of looks to Lazuli and just
Can I wink at him?
Yeah, you can.
I wink at him because I'm behind Club, right? Like Club can't see me. I wink at him.
And he just kind of lets out a little smirk and just closes his eyes.
Yes.
Well, you see, in my village, when a new weapon was created, we are not like the dwarves. Whoever wields the weapon chooses a name for said weapon. The creator does not choose the name; it's the wielder. So, I'm just kind of struggling a little bit, but Klekklot and Burr, liking them a little bit. So I'm
Well,
not sure about Hugh. I don't know if I like. That's not a very like. Oh, I have the mighty Hugh. Yeah, doesn't really, not really my thing. You know what I mean? Like the strong and stoutful Klekklot. You know, kind of rolls the tongue off a little bit, or maybe the beautiful Burr. You know, it's hard. It's a tough decision.
So as you're going on about the names, you see that one of his eyes starts to just close as you're talking about the names, and the other one's half open. And he just goes, yes.
Maybe
Hugh would be a great name. That's a good choice. And he just continues rocking, looking forward now at just the wall in front of him.
maybe we should tell Reidoth why we're here.
Yes, we are here because we were told of a druid that lived in Thunder Tree that you would know where a castle would be. We were looking for a castle called Cragmaw Castle. You were told that you know these lands better than most.
I do. And Cragmaw Castle, of course. And what is it that you seek at Cragmaw Castle?
A dwarf
A dwarf.
by the name of Gundren. Gundren the dwarf.
Not Klekklot, then.
No.
We might find some after though.
You might find some more. We might find more powerful warriors when we're done. Are you kidding me? No, I'm the most powerful warrior there is. We're not finding any more powerful warriors.
So he just kind of like he like thinks for a second and like shakes his head. And he just goes, yes, Cragmaw Castle. Of course. Help you find that. However, I do need a little bit of help, and I suppose we could have a little trade. What do you say?
What do you need help with?
I think you know what I need help with.
The dragon. You want us to kill the dragon?
Well, you don't have to kill it.
Okay.
I just need it gone from here.
No, I think that could be doable. But I have a question for you. How much do you know about dragons?
Oh, a bit. I know that dragons can be tempted.
Well, good to know. Now, I don't know anything about dragons. I know that they hurt a lot. So, how do they multiply? Are they like chickens? Like they need to fertilize the egg?
Club.
Yes, actually.
No.
What do you think could entice a dragon to leave this area?
And then I kind of want to finish his sentence on the condition that Club stole stuff from its pile. So how can we entice it?
You stole directly from the dragon.
Club?
Well, yeah.
Might I interest you all in some soup?
Ooh. What kind of soup?
Oh, it's just a root vegetable soup. I was foraging earlier. That's when I came across you, actually. And he points to Tarkon. And then you. It's quite delicious. And at that, you kind of, you actually notice that the air does smell actually quite good.
Can I insight check that?
Insight check.
Him saying, like, oh, the soup is delicious.
Talking about the soup? Yep, go ahead.
That is a 12.
Yeah. He actually made it sound pretty good.
Yeah, we'll have some soup. We can discuss
I
the
would like
dragon.
to pass on the soup.
I'll have some
I just had a rabbit. I'm pretty full.
free rations. You don't say no to a druid soup. Ain't that right, Reidoth?
I suppose you wouldn't. I've never heard that one before. But
You can
Yes.
tell he actually did eat the rabbit because I'm currently wearing it. What do you think of this? What do you think of my my loincloth? I call it my Prince Albert. What do you think? What do you think? The name? What do you think? How does it look? Does it accent me properly?
one eye just closes again, and he just stands up, and he just kind of walks with a little bit of a limp over to the southern side. There's a little setup there, a couple cupboards up high. There's a little countertop with some hanging garlic and things like that, some flowers and herbs, and he just picks up a couple of bowls. He picks up 4 bowls and hobbles over and just pours in the soup, and he starts handing it out to you guys.
Does the dragon know you live here?
I don't believe it does. It seems to just enjoy that tower.
You also didn't answer my question. What could we entice the dragon with?
Oh, yes. Well, dragons tend to hoard wealth. I suppose it would be looking for something that would represent wealth to it. Gold, whatever would represent wealth to you, really.
Well, it wanted me to devote myself to it instead of the god that I worship.
That does make sense. Dragons need followers, and it's just moved in, so I imagine it would be building that follower base now as well.
Now, go ahead, Lazuli.
I have a feeling that this may be bigger than you think it is. I think that there might be more foul and evil beings at play here. I don't think this dragon is accidental.
They tend not to be. You know, you just reminded me of something. And he points to Club. Says, wanted you to follow it. There was a group of people that moved into the eastern part of town just after the dragon arrived. I wonder. Sits there thinking.
What do they look like?
Well, they wear black robes all day, even in the middle of the hot sun. So I can't quite catch a good look at them.
Wow.
And they also wear masks. Quite odd.
Now, Reidoth, what would be the benefits of following it, of devoting yourself to a dragon?
Oh, likely none for you.
I know. Shocked. I'm not shocked at all.
But, well, it would be wealth, I suppose, if it were a kind enough dragon. I've never met one of those, though.
Why does a dragon want followers, though?
Well, all dragons need followers to devote themselves and run errands and simple things like that.
But why would a dragon of all creatures want someone else to do what they can do anything
Club.
they want?
Club,
They want power.
I think you know the answer to that. This dragon doesn't serve itself. If you could believe it, Reidoth, I have a feeling this dragon serves somebody else.
It might. You might be right. Either way, I one day look to restore these ruins and get Thundertree back to its former glory. There's no chance of that happening with a dragon here, destroying things more than they already are. I don't care how it goes away. It goes away. I'll show you to Kragmaw. And you can see he's like slowly fading as he's rocking in his chair.
Do you know anything about Echo Cave?
I do. I believe I do. I'll
Do
have
you know
to.
where it's? Do you know where it's located at?
I think I do. Let me sleep on it. And you can see he's just slowly just fading away in his little chair. The rocking is slowing down.
I think,
Can we set up camp in here?
I think we crash here
Can we
for
just
the
get
night.
a couple of bedrolls and just?
So, do you say that out loud?
No. Matt, like, kind of. Maybe I do say it out loud. You know?
Yeah.
We
Read off
are
in your
his
mind.
guests for the night. He did say that we are his guests for the night. So
Mind if
So
we
as-
just...
as like he hears you, or it seems like he hears you say it, and then as you say, "Are there any bedrolls?" and he just like his hand just very quickly and stiffly just points to the corner of the room with his staff, and he points towards this direction, and you can actually see that there's some very crude looking tarps stuffed with hay.
I mean, I've got a bedroll. Like, I'm just asking if we could stay.
yeah.
And he just kind of lurches forward a bit. Says, the floor is yours. And then he just drops his head and passes out.
Well, would you guys like to step outside and discuss real quick and then sleep? That way we don't disturb him.
I think we just move on.
I think we're ready for sleep.
Yeah, I think we're.
Okay. All right.
Agreed.
So you guys are crashing out?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are able to find a pretty comfortable spot. It's nice and toasty in there. This is certainly a better sleep than you've had the last couple of nights on the road. And nobody needs to take watch. The doors are barred unless you choose to. But you know that the doors and windows have all been barred off. Seems like Reidoth seems pretty comfortable.
Nope.
I would like
Okay,
to do
go
something.
sleep.
Okay.
I mean, I'll stand watch after 4 hours.
Okay.
Once everyone's gone to bed, I'd like to read my river letter.
Okay. So you stay up a little bit later and you read. Where? You read this. Okay. And then are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So flash forward 8 hours. Kiriko, you wake up 4 hours in. Everybody's just conked. And you're free to do whatever you want in those 4 hours. Otherwise, daylight is coming.
Where's the wand?
The staff?
Yeah.
That is with Tarkon.
Yeah, but like where?
That's up to Tarkon.
Just beside on the floor beside my bed roll.
While they're asleep, could I just study it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
So
want- yeah.
okay, so you're able to like if it's just beside him, you're able to grab it no problem. Middle of his sleep, he's not going to be waking up just from you picking something up. So I forget where I put it. So you're also able to identify it as a staff of defense. I need to find where I've written down the stats on that, but I will in just a moment.
Shouldn't Lemon have them?
I
I've
should
got
have them. Yeah.
So this is so you identify it and kind of what it does. It's long.
Okay. How long does it take to get attuned to it?
It takes an hour. I don't know how double attunement works.
Because I'm not trying to steal it. I just want to also be able to use it
Mm-hmm.
if needed.
Uh um so far from what I see, yeah, I don't think you can. I'm going to say no for now, but if it turns out that the answer is yes, I will say that during this time you also attune to it.
That's stupid. All right.
Well, it's almost like a magical bond if you can think about it that way. Yeah, it's actually literally called a bond. This bond is called attunement.
So stupid, but okay.
Like I said, I'll read deeper into it. I had never considered that. Yeah.
I have nothing else to do, so.
Okay. Okay.
Only one
That-
person can attune at a time. That's what someone in my chat said.
Oh, I see.
So if Lemon became not attuned to
No.
it, she could attune to it.
Yeah, I can define it. I'm directly from the rules. It says an item can be attuned to only one creature at a time. Yeah. Okay, so definitive. I'm glad we at least have that answer now. Okay, so as you guys are kind of waking up, Reidoth. So Queen, you see a couple hours, actually about 6 hours into everybody else's sleep. Reidoth actually just kind of peps up out of his chair, and he just, without even recognizing you there, doesn't even look at anyone, just kind of mechanically moves over to his counter and starts gathering a couple of herbs and things like that, and grabs a big pot, moves over to where the fire is still burning, and plops it down on top of a like a tripod almost thing that was holding up the pot from last night, and he pours in some water from Waterskin.
My water skin?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
God, no.
thank God.
No,
thank
no.
God.
Stupid.
No.
I kind of want to chat with him before everybody wakes up.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna walk over to him and be like, "Hey, can we chat before the people who never shut up wake up again?"
Of course, of course. What is it, my dear?
Do you know anything of the black spider?
Black Spider. I don't believe I've heard that name before.
And I want to show him that letter. I don't want to hand it to him. I want to show it to him.
He just kind of looks it over and says, nefarious things. Yes?
Yes. This letter was sent to a wizard to kill us, actually, but instead we kind of took out all of the bad guys there. But there was this curse in a cave and a weird thing. It's a long story, but this note was given to them by the Black Spider, and those people were bad enough in ruining an entire town. I don't know if you're. Oh, I'm sure you're familiar with Phandelver, but we helped that town, and we're wanting to help the rest of the area. And I think that Cragmaw Castle might have an answer to it, because apparently the dwarf knew some information that nobody else did, and then they took him, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. It's basically the gist.
Nefarious indeed, then. So, what do you seek to do? What would be your next move?
Well, I guess seeing what we can do and trying to rid this land of the black spider, because if I saw lives changed, I saw fathers murdered, I saw families disheveled because of just a few of his minions in a different town, and I want to put an end to that, because I don't know about the rest of the group, but speaking for myself, I'm out to get some answers just in general, because people are bad, and I want to try to make the world a better place, and I think that getting to the bottom of this issue is going to help a lot of these towns.
Well, you have a large task on your hands. Well, I do intend to help you. And quite lovely that you've helped those in Phandelver. Many in Phandelver used to live here. Before the ruin came.
Yeah, we met a few, and they were actually the ones who told us about you.
Do you recall their name?
I don't. I wasn't the one that spoke to them, but the water Genasi with me, Lazuli, he spoke to a woman in town that spoke of this place.
Well, I'll have to speak to him then and see. It's nice to hear of old friends. Let me tell you something so that you're not at odds with the land here. It seems as though, and he looks at some of the scratch wounds that have healed over on some of these guys that have just left scars, says it seems as though you've already met some of the creatures in this area. Just know what's here can be quite deadly. Zombies, twig blights everywhere. And of course, there's the giant spiders. Just be wary as you traverse Thunder Tree. Just want you to not be in too much trouble. And if you find yourself just to the east, be wary of the webbing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have any advice on these spiders? I can't say I've seen many like them, and at least zombies and twig blights, they're at least somewhat humanoid looking, so they're easier to figure out. But if we come across these spiders, what would be your advice?
Well, you can avoid them if you can avoid the web. That's about all I do.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Well, I suppose. Would you like some tea?
Sure.
And he just kind of gets up and moves over and continues making his tea. You guys hang out for a bit. Is there anything else you wanted to talk to him about before these guys get up?
No.
Okay. So he preps up the tea. You guys drink a bunch of it. Tastes quite good. It's very woody, but still quite hearty, and it fills you up, and you feel quite good. Very energized, and the rest of the group starts coming to, and you guys are awake.
I'm gonna go over to Lazuli and say, would you mind relaying who told you about him from Phandelver? I chatted with him this morning, and I think it would be good for him to hear that somebody he knows is alive.
Yeah. I had spent some time, and I kind of just like walk over, and he's heard her say that to me, right?
I didn't try to say it quietly.
Yeah.
Of course. And kind of walk over to where he's situated. In kind of our dealings in Phandelver, I had spent some time trying to track down the town wood carver and kind of take out the tools. And unfortunately, he didn't make it. But his family lives on, his wife, his kids. And they actually directed me to something that they left behind. I don't exactly know where in town they lived, but the wife told me that I could keep it, but I want to return it back to her. I want to return a family heirloom that she said I can have, and I want to return it back to Phandelver. So I actually need your help to figure out where this family lived. And I put the tools away.
I want to kind of like chime in, and you can actually correct me if I'm wrong, but was the name Myrna?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say that. But like, I believe we're discussing Myrna and her two kids. Yeah.
And he like kind of lights up at first, but then he shrinks down a little. He says, "Oh, Myrna, poor Myrna. Her husband is dead."
Yes.
And you can see kind of like a little bit of a tear wells up in his eye, and he just takes his robe and wipes his eyes, and he's, of course, if she left something behind and she's trusted you to find it for her, then of course I can let you know. Just directly east of here. Not the building directly east, and not the one after that. After that, there's a very small building. It was her shop. She would have kept everything there. Her house has been long decimated, but I know that she kept quite a few things at her shop. You'd have the best luck looking there.
I appreciate that. And I know that what you said last night, wanting to return this town to its former glory, I know she'd be the first to move back.
I do hope so. We could use a good wood, and he just pauses. He says, we could use good people here. And, as well. I
have another question. I have a question rather. Not for the DM. Did that like halfling lady also mention him?
Yep.
What was her name again? I didn't write it down.
Queen.
What?
Who does anyone remember the name? Does anyone have it?
No.
Of the inn lady?
No. The halfling with the kid that Club threw up in the sky.
Oh, no, I never wrote her name down. Did we ever know her name? I thought Myrna was the only.
I think it was given to us like a few times.
I'll just remind you guys. You guys are learning to. Eventually, you'll start taking notes. Her name is Quellen.
And then I just have like an aha moment. Aha!
Where did that?
And also Quellen spoke of you. She Phandelver lost their town master due to some circumstance, and she is currently leading the council on finding the next town master representative. She mentioned you as well.
Oh, is that the lady whose son I like threw up in the air?
Yeah, and then almost didn't catch back down on the way down.
The kid lived. Okay, he lived. He didn't break a leg. He didn't break an arm. He's fine. Like, good times though. Good times. I'm gonna like chuckle to myself a little bit.
So he smiles at hearing her name, and he says, "Oh, Quellen and the boy. Yes, well, I thought she was meant to lead at some point. Terrible news about the town master, though. You've all been quite busy. I suppose there's nobody better to trust. Ridding Undertree of light.
Well,
I'm not sure how you will. I believe I can trust you to do this." And he kind of asks it as a question.
Is there anything that you can maybe give to us to lend us a hand? Or do for us?
Yeah, because I came face to face with that dragon, and even if all four of us, at our tip-top shape, tried to fight it, I still don't think we could take it. And that's coming from the leader and the noble warrior, mind you. Just saying, like.
I wanna turn to him. And like, do you think the dragon might be tempted by this? Take out the jade frog statue.
And he looks like he just like really bends in close to it, like almost like he's like at like a 90-degree angle, just like looking at this thing. Yes, I suppose that would pique its interest, though.
Not enough.
A small piece of a dragon's hoard, of course.
Yeah.
Question, Reidoth.
Yes?
I'm gonna take out my water skin and show it to him and say, "What do you think this would do to the dragon?"
He kind of like bends in, like a little bit hesitant, and he like when he gets close enough, even just within a foot, he like catches a whiff and he like pulls back. Oh. Goliath, I surely don't know. And I truly don't wish to.
Do you think I could add maybe some of your tea or your soup to that?
When we're done with it.
Oh, you're the best.
So, he kind of gets up and starts moving things around. He actually grabs a couple of, he's got a couple of apples sitting around. He actually just tosses them to you guys, like just, walks over and lightly tosses you the apples. And he's got, he hands each of you like two carrots that have been tied together at the tops, and he just kind of hands those out. And he says, and of course, if you do choose the harsher way of removing the dragon, I can help you out only slightly. And he reaches down inside of his pockets and he holds out a hand of just dirt, and he grabs it in the one hand, and one by one he kind of goes up to you and like puffs the dirt, almost like just like a ceremony. And the same thing happens where the dirt just kind of puffs in front of you and then starts sparkling and wraps down around your legs. Everybody feels the effects. You feel a little bit stronger in your legs, a little bit more light on your feet, and everybody will have plus 10 movement for the next hour. And then he walks up to Lazuli and he says, and he's holding a hand of bark, and he's just crunching it in his hands, and he says, "It looked good on you." And then he just walks up and grabs your hand and raises his hand and just smashes the bark onto your hand, and from there it just flows up, cracking your skin and giving you that bark skinned look again. And so that same effect will happen for the next hour as well. He says, "Well, this will, whether or not you use it, I suppose it's of no worry to me. Dirt and bark, quite easy to find."
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We all do.
And
Thank you.
before you go anywhere, just curious, what do you plan to do?
I had an idea.
Our negotiations never end well, but we usually try to take an intelligent approach first.
I don't. They try to, but I don't.
Well, Club, you're the only one that can speak to this dragon, so we need to at least start with negotiating, maybe showing some treasures that Lazuli has, and maybe with a little bit of magic, I can maybe persuade him with something that I can create out of thin air.
So when you say the words, only you can speak to the dragon, Reidoth, like, just squints, like, just looks at you, says, What language are we speaking right now? And he's like very confused. He's, if you could speak to me, I believe you can speak to the dragon.
A long story, but I can speak in their tongue.
The dragon speaks common, is what you're saying, Reidoth?
The dragon speaks in many tongues. Common, surely one of them.
So you're not... no, I'm just kidding.
No, I speak Draconic. I speak the language of the dragons.
Then it may have chosen you for a reason.
Maybe, but like I said, it wanted me to devote my following to it, and I have my sights set on a higher power.
He studies you. And he just kind of goes back and sits in his chair and says, well, I'm not sure what you'll do, but you'll tell me about it.
Oh, dude, don't even worry about it.
Where will we find you after it's done?
I'll be here. I don't go far.
All right.
Now, Reidoth, I have one last question, but I prefer to ask it in private. I'm gonna lean into him and whisper in common, and say, "What do you know anything about Baal?"
He had a brutal death.
Unfortunately, yes, he did.
Quite a fall he took as well.
I'm gonna take a deep breath in and say, yeah, he's kind of who I devoted myself to. I read in a book that if I followed him, it would lead me to great treasures. So, really going for that one.
Perhaps that's why you're here then.
Maybe. It's hard to tell. I don't think that I can't see Baal having anything to do with this, but I've been wrong before and be wrong again.
Well, may you be right moving forward.
Man, one can hope.
Just
all right.
Gives you that kind of sage nod.
All right, gang. Once Tarkon gets back from his, he's back. There we go. Are you guys ready to head out? We'll stop by Myrna's shop first for you, Lazuli.
Yeah.
Where was
Three houses
Myrna's shop?
east.
3 doors to the left.
I
Right.
don't
or
know.
east. Sorry, not left.
Oh. Wait, to the west?
East.
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 Do you think we should be going that way?
We got to deal with the dragon somehow. We're just putting off the inevitable. I think we should loop around.
Yeah.
And the dragon should be maybe the last place we go to. I think we should scout the town out a little bit and see what we're working with in terms of locals, because Reidoth did say there are someone that recently moved in.
I think it might be in our best interest to maybe confront the dragon at our full strength, other than going through town and maybe running into some scenarios that might hinder.
That is a very
our
good
ability.
point. Well, what about this thought though? What if we head back to Winter? What's
Neverwinter?
Neverwinter, yeah. Why don't we head back to Neverwinter and tell the guards where the dragon is? We can bring some backup.
I think they're hiding in their castle. They would have. Yeah, they're afraid.
I think
don't
they're
think
afraid
so.
because they don't know where it's at and where it's from. I feel like if we tell them where the dragon's at, I mean, mind you, they probably don't like us too much, but maybe if we go back, there'll be different guards, and we can tell them exactly where this dragon is located, and we can get the city's army on our side, and we can confront the dragon that way. If we want to kill it. I mean, yes, we can talk to it, but I think that ship has long sailed, unfortunately.
What does everyone think?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't think they're gonna help us.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Even if we got 50 Sildars, I don't think it would make a difference.
I think if they were gonna fight it, they would already be trying to fight it already.
Our best option, I feel, is to persuade this dragon with all our might and not fight it as much as we can.
Well, I'm not giving up my axe. It's not going. She's not getting it back.
Hide the axe.
Yeah, but if we get into a fight, I'm gonna need it.
You don't have another weapon?
I do, but this weapon is far more superior than my hammer.
Yeah, but it's also gonna know that you stole that from it, and it's not gonna appreciate that. I have a long sword.
I think the dragon will already know that I stole from it. I'm almost positive it knows that it knows that I stole from it. So even if I don't have it, I think that would make matters even worse if I don't have it. Don't you think?
Well, let's run this scenario. What if it, as part of Lazuli's jade statue, it also wants the axe back? What happens then?
I'm not giving the axe away.
And that is a little hiccup that would cause us to fight a dragon.
Listen, I've rode it once. I'm sure I can ride it again.
Well, we're trying to avoid that.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So not giving
But
it the battle
I'm not
axe
giving up.
is
I'm
not
not giving up
avoiding
the battle axe. Yeah, well, I'm not giving up the battle axe.
That's why I think you should hide.
Club, don't make us pry it from your dead hands.
Please don't. This thing's so fucking cool. I don't want to give it up.
If the dragon wants it back, you're gonna give it up, or else we're all dead.
Okay. Here's another idea. The dragon doesn't know Club was necessarily with us, as we're a group. Why don't Club, you hide for this interaction? If the dragon asks about us or about you, we say we don't know who you are or we've never seen you before. We can't speak to him stealing your stuff, and we try and persuade him out of here.
I do like that idea. I think that I should still be
You should be around. Yes.
Yes, around. That way, in case things go bad, I can step in and attempt to.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, what if
help
it?
out.
What if the statue's not enough? Like, I feel like we need so much more. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking with my magic, I could create an illusion of. I haven't thought about the description of this gem or this item, but I was going to sell it as a one of a kind. You know, like the gem from the Hobbit. The gem from the stone, whatever, from the mountain.
Don't you have to be within a certain range of it though?
10 feet. But there's some other things I can do.
Well, why
I can
don't
make
we?
a silent image? As long as it doesn't touch the item, we'll be fine.
I think you guys should take some of my gold and silver to kind of offer it as to give it to the dragon as an offering, along
It's
with the.
gold.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
What if we challenge it to a riddle? And if it loses the riddle, then it has to leave.
Yeah, that'll work out well.
And we trick it with Lemon's magic. If you can
What do you
solve
think,
this
Kiriko?
riddle, you can take this one of a kind gem, you know? And if you don't solve it,
Well, it can't touch it. It can touch it.
I don't
but
think
it
you
might,
should challenge the dragon.
It might know that it's an illusion.
listen, it's just an idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't think we're gonna have enough. And it's gonna be like, okay,
That's why.
come put the gem in my pile. Come put the gem in my pile. And then what? They're gonna walk away and it's gonna disappear. And it's gonna be like, okay, gotcha.
Well, okay. We can at least go in there and ask it what it wants in order for it to leave. And maybe we could go out and get it for it. And that would be an
You guys
opportunity
shouldn't be-
for us to leave.
You guys shouldn't be wielding weapons when you do this. You shouldn't bring any hostility towards it.
Kiriko, do you have any ideas?
Not really, but I don't think these are good ones.
Tarkon, I just remembered something. You can't show your face either to the dragon.
Well, he saw me in the town, but
Yeah, I guess he doesn't know that you know me, but why would it? The dragon is probably thinking, why would a complete stranger save another stranger's life? You know what I mean?
I mean, did the dragon see Tarkon? I don't think it did.
Yes, it did. When I was riding the dragon, I warned Tarkon to run away.
yeah, that's right.
And I mentioned him by name. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if I did or not. So, once again, why would, like... I don't know.
Frank. Stop
Hold
rolling
on.
dice.
Can I do a hit? Can I do it? I want to ask Reidoth something.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when a dragon has no followers?
Well, it just lives its life, I suppose, looking for more to hoard and some to kill and some to follow. It just does what a dragon does. I don't think anything is wrong necessarily.
So the dragon doesn't gain power from having more followers?
No.
I have a question for you, Frank. I DM'd it to you. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But yes, in theory you would. Yeah. Yeah, you would.
So I would get further.
Yes. Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's lame.
I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
I have an idea for the dragon.
So I'm also gonna just pause here for a second. Like, I obviously want you guys to hash this out and stuff. I am super intrigued with what's going on, so I'm totally happy to keep running for a bit longer. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys, though, if you want to like hash out a plan and call it. But I am totally happy to keep it running.
Yeah, I think if we hash out like we just bounce some ideas off each other. I don't know. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, I think we figure out a plan and call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, scattered, I guess.
Yep.
So, as much as I know the dragon hates me, it's also I'm the #1 priority for it.
So we
So,
offer you. All right, let's do it.
well, I was actually thinking, gambling with it.
I mean, the riddle is a gamble as well.
You're right. Yes, it is. I just feel like maybe the dragon might be too smart for that. I don't know. I don't know. But my idea was I would gamble away my faith if it were to leave this town, and it would.
You'd rather give away your faith than a battle axe?
Priorities.
Well, I gamble away I could gamble my way my faith. I wouldn't gamble the battle axe. I mean, it's just kidding me.
I had an idea, but
I won with this axe at this point.
I had an idea, but the DM told me it's not possible. I was thinking that
That's
I could
lame.
trick it with a riddle by having it breathe fire on me, and I could survive the fire. But unfortunately, its breath is not a missile, so I can't deflect it. I can't deflect the breath. I was planning on that would have been a pretty good plan if I could deflect the breath back at it.
Yeah, it would have been. Like, I don't know.
I honestly feel like at the current moment our setup is let's just talk to it and see what happens. You know, like that's not really.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything. Like I truly can't think of anything on like what to do.
So out of D&D, why don't we why don't we stop now? We have a week to all think about it in our own heads. But like, let's not metagame and be like, oh, what if we did this guy? We all sit in Discord till like 3 a.m. As an example, like thinking of ideas. Like, I think we should like not discuss it. Like, just come back next week with an idea to bring, or ideas to bring to the party next session. Just because I'm trying to think, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's just talk to it. Like, that's where we're all at, and we're hitting the same wall. So like, I think we should maybe come back next week and with our ideas.
Yeah.
That's just my idea.
Yeah.
But that's up to you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to. I hate to be that guy, but like I also just don't have. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Yeah.
Unless there's any objections, obviously.
I feel like talking to it, like we still have an out. We can
I'm
just
gonna
say,
wrap up the stream then.
Oh,
Okay. So I think what
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna conclude episode 10. Episode 10. We've been going for 10 episodes. That is so much time, so much content. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you enjoyed this week, great. I hope to see you guys next week. We might be changing the date. So if you miss an episode, just know that the VODs will be available on Twitch and YouTube, and we'll probably do some housekeeping at the beginning of the next episode to let you guys know when the next and reoccurring date is. So if you've made it this far, you'll get to know what those dates are next time. And with that, pressing my handy dandy button, I'll see all of you guys next week.